And welcome to episode 10 of Cookout. Ladies and gentlemen, we made it. Number 10. Good God Almighty. How did we get here? Joining
What's
us
up?
today, as always, we got the First Lady, Imani. How you doing? How's your week?
It's going well. It's
Going
going.
well.
We out here living another COVID week. We survived it.
That's good. We got to keep surviving. We got to keep pushing. Got to keep trucking. Can't let
Facts.
this virus beat us. Also joining us, we got JBM. How you doing, sir?
What's up? Doing good.
The man, the myth, the legend. How you doing? How's your week this week, sir? How's life?
Oh, you talking to Lou?
Yeah. Lou.
Yeah.
We'll get to Lou. Hold on, Lou. Let's get you got the big story going on. We got to get JB in first.
Oh, I got the big
you
story.
Got the grand. No. Lou's got the big story.
Yeah. Lou, you got it.
No.
I was just gonna say, I'm just glad Lakers are up 3-1 right now. That's all I had to say. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Oh
man. And no, the NBA playoffs have been interesting, but that's not a surprise at all. And sir, Lou, the producer extraordinaire, the legend himself, how are you doing out there on the West Coast, man?
I am currently on wildfire house arrest. The air quality is so hazardous. They're like, don't go out there for more than 10 minutes lest you risk worsening your asthma, which I do have, or causing permanent respiratory issues. So, I'm bunkering down till at least Monday at noon where they revised their warning, but it's crazy out here. West Coast is on fire. The coverage is scattered. I don't know what else this year had to throw at us, but look at us trying to survive.
Yeah, those fires are crazy, man. I've got a coworker in Portland, and the pictures he's sending are just unbelievable. I got another acquaintance in the Bay, and that's looking like Blade Runner.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Portland really, really got it bad. Most of Oregon is forest. It's burning all around them. I think their air quality is worse than ours. We just don't know how much worse than ours because we're off the AQI, but Portland is visibly worse than that. So I don't know how you air quality index that.
Yeah, for real.
Basically, it's bad enough
to
go outside.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere till I can see down the street.
What color is it out there?
Gray. It's like fog, but different than fog because it's not low. And you look out in the distance and you be like, oh, normally I could look down the street and see a traffic light. I can't see that right now.
Yeah.
We're glad you're okay.
Definitely, man. Keep you in our thoughts and prayers for sure that it stays far away from you as possible. And everybody out there, hope everyone on the West Coast, especially if you're watching on the West Coast, please stay safe. 2020, insane. What a year this has been.
That far west.
Yeah, Washington State. So I'm on the eastern side of the state, but when all of Oregon is on fire, then central Washington, Cascade Mountain Range, all trees. So fire spreads. The area I'm in is actually pretty low to the ground, not a lot of trees, close to desert. But you get brush fires, which is like tumbleweeds, literal tumbleweeds, like you see in Westerns, catching fire in bunches.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, it's pretty dry. But the dryness also doesn't help because rain helps settle smoke. And so when it don't rain a lot, you just kind of stuck out here.
I just realized you were in Washington, and this is completely unrelated. But does it look like twilight out there on like a good day?
So I'm in Eastern Washington, Western Washington, King County, Seattle. That is Seattle and Portland both are like you get some sunny days in the summer, but most of the rest of the year is like 60 to 70 and cloudy just all the time.
So bad for our hair, basically.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, we got a very, very packed show. A lot going on, a lot to talk about. episode 10. We're gonna have a pretty long community discussion today. I don't know if you saw the agenda, but we're going to be talking about Dune. We're going to be talking about The Boys season 2, and we're also going to be having. Well, I'm going to have a little rant. It's not going to be. I'm not going to be amping, trust me, but I got some things I have to get off my chest related to Star Wars and Disney and everything that's going on, because there have been comments, just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that's come out to the public that I just want to talk about because it's important. But before we get into everything, I'm gonna go say what's up to everybody in the chat. Gabriella, what's going on? Good to see you as always.
Gabriella, that's my mama. Hi, mama.
Hey,
Mom Dukes.
Mark loves
There's the man himself, man, the myth, the legend. It is Mark Allen.
There's a lot of men, myth, and legends on this episode.
It is, man. You got to listen. This is a legendary show. You got to remember that.
Actual
factuals. Uh-oh. We got some more popping in. Oh, look, it's my mom.
What's up?
Showing love as always. Hey, we got Thomas is in the house. Good, man. I'm glad everybody's in here. Listen, man. Hey, make sure you like the video, continue to comment, share it if you will. Like, we're gonna be on here for 2 hours. So, send the link out to people. We go 2 hours like almost every episode. Let's not even trip that.
I might hear some cooking around 9:30. So, FYI.
Oh, what you cooking? What you got going on? What you cooking?
I'm not cooking. I've already cooked my dinner.
You said black pancakes.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh man, yo, Mr. Loaf, man. Good to see you.
Oh,
hey, Loaf just started streaming, man. He's been streaming on Twitch recently.
Welcome.
Good to see everybody, man. All right. So, hey, right off the bat, first things first, we gotta talk about this Dune trailer, yo.
Dune. The worm looked amazing.
Right off the bat, we gonna talk about the worm.
The worm. The spice in the worm, man.
The spice in the worm. Say,
I have never read the book and I never saw the first one, so I don't really know like what I'm getting myself into, but that looked amazing to me. So that was my little disclaimer as someone who knows nothing about Dune. That looks exciting, and I don't know what the heck was going on.
Listen, all you need to know about Dune is whoever controls spice controls the universe.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, black people should just be in charge.
Hey, bro.
This is exactly why there should be no white Freeman right there.
I don't know what that means, but
man,
find out.
Freeman are the people that are native to the planet that has the spice. There's only one planet in the entire universe that has the spice. And that was it, like Krakis? What's the name of it? The name of the planet?
Arrakis. He said Krakis.
Krakis.
Oh Lord.
No.
We gonna call.
So I did buy the book. I bought it this weekend, and I will be cracking it open this week, and I'm very excited for that.
So has it arrived yet? Do you got it?
Yeah, I went to the store. Oh, is it with me?
Oh, no. you. Oh, it's not with you. I was about to say, man, show us what you got. You got the hard copy. You got not the hard copy. You got the soft cover, hard cover.
No, we don't do soft covers. I need hardcover books. I don't like reading on my phone. I can't do audiobooks. I can't do Kindle. None of that. I need a hard copy of a book. Otherwise, I can't get in the zone. I have to feel the cover.
A hard copy. Yo, you be spending on these books.
That's a good 30.
I'm blessed with a job that has not shut down during COVID.
Hey, listen. Right, exactly.
Yeah,
if we gonna spend money, at least it's on a book. Okay.
And I went through my childhood book collection. As much as I love it, I'm not reading them anytime soon, and I will be donating them. So that's my little gift to myself. I might be buying books, but I'm making sure that the ones I'm not reading are going to people that will enjoy them more than me.
Yeah. I've never read the novelization of Dune, but I had seen the original movie, and it is a very interesting movie. But I love the movie because it's strange, but it's my kind of strange. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's thematically one. The original is kind of long. for a movie, but the book itself, they try to cram a lot because I know that the novel is pretty lengthy too.
That was a heavy book, right?
It crams a lot, and
Tony Baker.
From what I understand, this is supposed to be a trilogy of films. This is the movie coming out next year, I'm assuming, depending on if COVID. This is supposed to be part one. This is what I've heard. This is supposed to be a trilogy of films.
A trilogy of films based on the trilogy of books, or
no? They broke the book up into 3 parts.
The first book, 3 parts.
Yeah, kind of like what they did with The Hobbit.
This crap already too long for me.
That's what I heard. This is what I've heard. Yeah, this is what I've heard.
That's gonna okay.
Yeah, The Hobbit was also too long for its britches. That did not need to be 3 movies. I could have done 2. There was a lot of extraneous stuff in The Hobbit.
That's true. I think that for me with The Hobbit, they started leaning a little too much into the CGI. I was there for the story because I like the book. So like
there was a lot that wasn't in the book though.
Yeah.
Legolas was not in The Hobbit. Legolas was in The Hobbit movies a lot. Like
he wasn't in it that much.
He was in it enough for them to have a side elf love storyline. Like
he was
between the lines in the book. You had to read in between the lines.
Yeah, it was implied that he was in there. You don't really.
I didn't really know that. I was just
no, because because they go to Mirkwood, like he's from Mirkwood, like he's around and there's stuff happening, but like he's not a feature of the book. To Lou's point, he's not like he became a main character in the last 2 films, and he wasn't that prominent. He wasn't that prominent.
Added story, a lot of added story to stretch the one book into 3.
Yeah,
same guy, Mark.
Yeah. No, it's Denis
Blade Runner is Philip K. Dick.
No, he's the redo. The
movie.
The movie. Yeah.
The book.
No.
The original movie.
The movie.
They're around. They're roughly the same.
No, he's the Blade Runner. What is it? What's the newest one that came out? That's supposed to be. Yeah, that one. Denis Villeneuve also directed that, and he's doing Dune. That's what Marcus said.
He did the original Blade Runner.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, here. Let's see what we got.
But yeah, I thought he meant the book because people do get the book confused because they're both in those.
Ridley Scott did the first movie.
Yeah, they're both in that early.
I didn't want to say that, but that was my guess. Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, they're in that early space sci-fi thing. Random fun thing to point out where I'm always like, I feel like white folk imagine space differently than black folk would, because like out the gate with Dune, and then further in Blade Runner, like this is your 1-2 for the forming of a modern genre. They were like, yo, we colonizing stuff. If we got to space and saw a whole nother planet, we taking it.
You already know my take on that.
That you're never gonna tell the people.
Yeah, what is your take on it?
We are going to have a conspiracy theory episode. I'm serious. We're gonna have a full episode dedicated to nothing but what we think in secret, and the world will get to know my space theory
agenda.
I'm looking forward to that episode personally. I was pushing to make it this episode, but somebody got cold feet.
First of all, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Don't do that.
Nope. Because this was in discussion before all the news that we're gonna talk about today broke. So
you've been ready to have this Star Wars rant for 2 months now. Okay.
But see, I keep alien thoughts.
Huh?
How long have you had these alien thoughts?
Oh, now she can't
hear.
A
lifetime, but not a lifetime, y'all.
So, hey, lifetime trumps 2 months.
Speaking of Star Wars, the Luke Skywalker story is very similar to the Dune.
Star Wars, like George Lucas openly says, like he drew inspiration from Dune.
Yeah,
Dune and what's that series?
Star Trek.
Nope, not Star Trek. God.
Star Trek also draws Dune inspiration though. So like Dune is to sci-fi what we said Lovecraft was to modern horror, what Tolkien is to fantasy, to space sci-fi very specifically.
I can dig that.
I need to like get up on my like 20th century, like early sci-fi.
Kinda, because like
I'm missing out on stuff that I feel like I should know.
The Body Snatchers.
I don't really care for Lovecraft. Dune is mid. Like the reason I have a fondness for Dune in my heart is because I went through this period, late high school, early college, where I was like, yo, why do I default race to white when I'm reading novels? And like I went through this period where I was actively like, okay, if they don't say a race, I'm gonna imagine somebody that looks like me or somebody that doesn't look like me but isn't necessarily white. And like Dune was the first book I read where I was doing that fluently. So it has a special place in my heart for that. Otherwise, I'm like, I don't know. It's a colonization combined with a messiah complex where I'm like, I guess world building is cool.
It didn't age well. It didn't age well.
I want y'all to know that I was really hyped to buy this book. And I couldn't wait to tell these guys. And Lou was in the chat like, I mean, it was mid.
Off rip.
So now I'm just preparing myself to read a book that is mid.
It's a cool story, though. It's a cool story.
All right.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it's strange in the right ways, as far as the story goes. Now, there are some elements and themes from a social standpoint that you can definitely critique heavily as a person of color, for sure.
Even without that, I can't talk about this is as much as I can say without like revealing plot.
Yeah, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Right. Otherwise, I still think it's mid. There's story reasons as well, but that is spoilery.
Yeah. As a matter, we're gonna come back to this conversation after you've read the book.
Are we gonna do a Dune detail?
We're gonna more than likely we're gonna have to, because when the movie comes out, we're gonna definitely talk about it again sometime in between. If she finishes the book between now and then, I don't mind coming back to talk about Dune.
I plan on finishing the book and watching the film. Although I'm trying to figure out if I want to watch the original film beforehand, or since y'all have all seen it already, if I should hold out, watch the new one, and then go back and watch the old one, just to see how I feel about it.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
If you see the new one and then go to the old one, I don't know.
I wouldn't watch the new one first. For sure. There's no point in if you watch the new one before you watch the old one, like don't do that.
You might not make it through the old one if you do it that way.
That's why. Well, that's why I said.
Cringy.
I said. I mean, she should read the book first and then watch the movie and then look at the new one for sure.
I don't know. My mind is low key made up. So if I'm setting myself up for failure, then it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
When does the movie come out?
It's supposed to come out
before Christmas.
We already know how COVID is taking movies out.
We will see. So basically, TBD. They've said that December is their target date. We'll see how that works out.
But if they're truly breaking this into 3 parts, maybe the reason I didn't see any Fremen to confirm Fremen weren't white is because like the end of Act 1 is Fremen. So like maybe they end, and the reason I didn't see it is because they don't got them.
Right. So Gabriella just put the date in there. 12/18 is the soft date right now. We shall see. We'll see how COVID acts.
There is 3 parts. That would be where you would end the first act.
Yeah, because to me, like based on the trailer, it seems like they're going a lot more into the politics of his father and the life before they get to what's the planet? I forget. Arrakis. Like it seems like it's going to dive a little bit more into that than the first adaptation did. But No spoilers. We'll see. Like, cause yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I think that first act is possibly going to end where sometime like probably I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. We'll see. Let me see if they actually do part 2 and 3 first. Let's see. And I need another trailer because that was a real teaser. That didn't really give us any story.
See how the Baron, how they have him visually.
Yeah, they didn't show anything. Like,
also, if it's 3 parts and they didn't say it was 3 parts more widely, this is going to be the same okie doke that Final Fantasy VII got. Though Final Fantasy VII was fire, it's like you get to the end and you're like, oh, yeah, they're breaking the game up. I see.
So from what I understand is the reason they haven't announced that it's 3 parts yet is because they haven't approved parts 2 and 3 in the budget because they want to see how the first act does. Like if it's well received, then they'll go and produce the next 2.
If that's the case, then they would not be releasing that in December. That don't make no sense.
Exactly, but because this was this was before COVID happened, so like it makes sense because it would have come out if you take away COVID, and if it would have performed well in December, then they would have greenlit the next 2 films. And then they would have announced that.
How do you write a 3-part story and you are halfway on releasing the other 2?
I mean, they did. George Lucas did it with Star Wars. Like
I was about to say that
it happens a lot.
Exactly what I was about to say
it happens. It happens a lot.
I'm
like so. Basically,
could exist in trilogies. They can exist.
No, but like A New Hope was just called Star Wars because they didn't know if they was getting another one.
Yeah, there wasn't. Empire did not get approved, and Return of the Jedi did not get approved until after the movie was released. But he writ the movies. He had treatments for all 3 films. Fox did not greenlight the sequels at all.
Yeah, but A New Hope was like a complete story.
And they're going to do the same thing with this. Like this will end.
The complete story of Dune if you're taking that one and breaking it into 3.
The way they are going to end the final act, it will feel complete.
I'm not mad at them breaking it up and not even getting the next 2 greenlit. I'm worried about just how COVID is treating movies right now. I had hopes for Mulan. Those were crushed. And now Tenet ain't looking too hot in the US either. And if people want blockbusters to blockbuster or to bust some blocks, then they need to wait.
Yeah, no, for real though. Like it's possible it might not. They might push it back a whole year.
I think they should. Just
tentatively. Like, I mean, it really depends because there's some other movies. They'll probably wait to see what James Bond does because they haven't announced that they're going to adjust their schedule. Like I said in the Discord, announced
that we're going to take COVID seriously as a nation. What's this going to do? Like
exactly. Well, but it can still go out like Tenet. Like so, Tenet was basically the experiment to all right. We'll release it overseas where COVID is kind of sort of under control. And it hasn't performed like they were thinking it would have, and it is out in theaters here in the States in certain places, but it just
over there.
Movies, I mean, yeah, they're not performing. And then Mulan performed horribly for a direct to
digital.
Yeah,
release. That was a dumb plan.
Yeah, that I'm telling you that $30 killed people.
Oh yeah,
automatically.
I'm glad it did.
How are you going to charge several months of Disney Plus for one movie and then tell people it's going to be there in December?
Right. I don't understand why they announced that it was coming out in December. Like I would have waited until it was out a few weeks and then said, all right, well, this isn't working. This will be available for everyone in December. Like you announced that it's coming out in December before it drops. Like that's crazy. Like you already know that the hype has died out because it actually had a lot of buzz before COVID, and then COVID happened and it got pushed out, and then all of the social political issues came to light, and all of that's been manifesting in between January and now, and so people have lost a lot of interest in the movie in the first place. And then you're knowing this, you're announcing that you're going to release it for $30 for a one-time view per account, and then the day of or a couple days before it hits Disney Plus, you announce that it's coming out in December. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. Which is actually ties kind of into my issues that I'm going to bring up in my rant later. But they're doing some weird stuff over there at Disney. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Whoever's running the show is not qualified.
Gabriella has a good point. She says, COVID affects movies like this. Will some movies have time to do jumps if it fits in the story to show the drastic age change of the actors? I say, as long as they ain't smoking crack, they shouldn't age that much in a year or two. The only people you have to worry about are young actors. And then as for people, if they do change like crazy, like adult actors, then age CGI is a thing now. And it looks crazy.
Super expensive.
I mean,
it really depends on the story too, because I honestly, if you did a time jump in Dune, it would actually kind of make sense, especially when he starts training on Arrakis.
Spoilers.
That's all I'm gonna say.
For me anyway, so I'm chilling.
He has no idea. She'll get it.
You know, I'm sure that the writer of the New Mutants was thinking that before COVID, featuring that movie.
Speaking of, did that come out?
Yeah, I heard that it was the worst X-Men movie.
Oh,
it was worse than the.
That's what I heard. And like X-Men 3
is worse than X-Men 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I'm gonna touch it.
Oh,
Why did they get X-Men right? I don't understand.
Because I don't think Fox is really trying. Like, X-Men is a consistent like 5 to 6 out of 10, which is mid, which will get them 200 million. And they're like, we ain't trying to make a blockbuster classic. We trying to make enough money to keep putting out the next one. For a long time, it was working.
I mean, they spend like less than 200 million on these X-Men films.
Yeah, it's
like they're not spending a lot of money.
Like the MCU has a good formula, and
MCU they're also spending money. Like they spending 200 in upwards of 200 million per movie on the MCU, which is also like Hollywood shutdown is screwing everybody up.
It would be profitable.
I mean, Marvel, Disney would pump the money into it. Don't worry. Like when it finally, because this is going to be the last film. This would have been this is the last X-Men film under Fox's reign. So now Kevin Feige has X-Men, and so the production will be better.
I have faith in that dude
going forward. Yeah, if anyone has proven that they're kind of competent over there to run a franchise, it's definitely Kevin Feige.
X-Men in the MCU is going to be a lot. X-Men in general is a lot, so I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah.
Yeah, Mark, all these companies are trying to break even. Yeah, they can't break even. They can't get anything into the theaters.
That's X-Men like they did.
That's the problem.
They could have standalone movies. And they could come together as
I still feel like
it'd be like they could do it.
I feel like X-Men would be better suited, and maybe this is just me, but if it lived on Disney Plus, you could build out the whole X-Men universe on Disney Plus, and that would be a great draw for people to get subscriptions because everyone loves the X-Men. Like no matter how bad the movies do, people love the X-Men, and they'll go. I feel like a lot of people would pay a subscription just to watch the X-Men series, especially if it's live action and animation.
Gabriella is right for the aging thing, but I don't think COVID is. I mean, if it's just going to be a year, maybe a little bit more, that's one thing. But Maisie from Game of Thrones still being like under 18 when this was filmed, and now the movie is coming out.
Yeah, they finished filming like September 2017. Yeah. So like this like spun, but it was just like a quick joke. Like, I'm sure Hollywood's been thinking about this since New Mutants was filmed 3 years ago.
I'm glad because they had so much time to do something.
I think Disney purchased Fox while they were filming the movie.
No, it was while they were in post-production, but it
was while it was in post. They were done with they were done with principal and they were in post when it was purchased. Okay. Yeah, like that's a tight spot to be in.
If I can wait 10 years for Avatar 2, I can wait 2 years for people to just get stuff right. Like all these people trying to release during COVID. Yeah, I want to see movies, but if it's not going to work out, they can wait. Just wait. The only people who can release movies
Let it wait and get it
Netflix.
right.
Huh?
Yeah.
So that's let it wait and get it right.
Oh well, no, don't. They understand like Disney did not care about the success of this movie because this was it was a Fox property. Like it's the same thing with Dark Phoenix, or was it Dark Phoenix?
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. They
Dark trash.
they weren't trying to improve that movie. They're not there because then that means they have to spend money on top of what Fox has already spent, and that's on top of the money they spent to acquire Fox. Like they're not gonna spend any money on any of those properties that they acquired from Fox that were scheduled for release. They're just gonna put them out as is, and like if people hated them, cool. That actually is more for their.
I gotta write Dark Trash down.
Dark trash. What's going on? All right, what's the thing? The Boys season 2. Who started? I haven't started it, y'all.
The Boys,
but I'm here for the.
I enjoyed watching Homelander this season. I'm thoroughly enjoying his psychotic, sociopathic egomania. He's a fragile man.
He is definitely
fragile, strong man. I love watching it.
And he has met his match, which
yes,
I didn't think was possible.
So he met his match in terms of like trashy white folk, but like Stormfront ain't drinking her ex's breast milk out of the fridge.
Yes,
she's not psychotic. She's just
she's a different kind of crazy. I mean, are we doing spoilers? Like, should we wait till the next show? I don't know.
No, we can't. No, we can't do spoilers. We can't do
spoilers.
Respect the audience.
I think, as far as like evil goes, they were made for each other.
They're both very maniacal.
Yeah.
Now, so they released the first 4 episodes all at once, correct?
They released the first 3 all at once, and then they released
the first 3, and then they
Thursday.
Got it.
And then it'll be one of the henceforth on Thursdays.
So that's a lot of content for people. I mean, that's 4 episodes for people to consume at this point. So yeah, let's avoid spoilers. Give people some time.
I mean, we can't say we're gonna talk episode 1 and 2 because then what you put yourself into is whenever you start talking about it, you gotta talk about this many episodes.
Details.
Yeah, we're getting no spoilers in the chat now too. So
people saying no spoilers.
All right.
Yeah.
We won't hit y'all with no spoilers. We could just say Homelander is losing it. The boys are
back in town.
The boys are definitely back in town, and they're having a little bit of a civil war. And if you're watching episodes like 1 and 2, like they need to get it together. Just a tad bit in the early episodes. And what did I want to comment on? Oh yeah, you mentioned the Deep's Gills talking to him.
Man, the gills are so disturbing. Oh my god. There's not many things that just make me feel uneasy, but those gills, it's hard.
See, this is exactly why the Deep hates himself, because of people like you who judge his gills while all he's trying to do is exist in the world.
If I had those gills, man, I would hate myself equally.
So
wow, this is a man trying to help himself and make himself better, and then there's people like you kicking the man while he's down.
Hey, good bringing that up.
Wait, time out. Are we really defending the Deep right now?
Yeah, the Deep deserves.
I'm defending.
Because if I recall,
the healing process is what Lou is defending.
If I recall the activities he was in, I don't think that's a defensible character.
No, his healing process. He's trying to be better, but they say all this crappy stuff he did deals to problems with his gills. He drew himself on a sheet of paper, didn't draw the gills. You know why? Because he hates that part of himself. Here go JBM. Man, them gills, bro.
Hey, y'all can't. The gills are disturbing. You know they're disturbing.
Speaking of, man, there is a constant theme that I've seen so far in these first 4 episodes that excites me. In the last season, the Supes were just horrible people. They were just downright awful, and it's like I don't think they knew they were awful. I think they were just being selfish, doing them, and not worrying about the consequences. And in this season, they're individually getting told about themselves and like saying like you Like, no, you got problems, and this is what the problems are. So yeah, I DM.
So you say that in this season,
Hey, y'all talking about
what? I
the
being
level,
a hater.
the
I
level of
being a hater.
disrespect.
Hey, the D
that's
must be his
great.
favorite character. That must be his favorite.
Oh man.
As I was saying, I appreciate that, like, they're getting a little slice of humble pie. I don't foresee this carrying on for long. Like, I can very well see the Deep, like, getting himself back into the 7 and be like, all right, I'm back to being a D. But yeah, it is nice to see them getting told about themselves just a little bit. Also, Black Noir is a black man. I don't care what they say, and they need to give the brother some lines.
Makes you say Black Noir is black.
Black Noir.
You out here? Wait, so you telling me now that you are out here using Homelander logic?
No. I was never out here using Homelander logic.
I mean, that's why Homelander.
What is
Homelander said Black Noir was black?
No, Homelander said he didn't. See, spoilers. We're gonna talk about that next week. But Homelander,
Yeah, let's no.
say that Black Noir was black.
But the actor is black.
He implied it.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he
I think
definitely.
he was going to, and then he changed his mind.
Hey, all right. So then, how we gonna y'all wanna make a bet?
A bet
Are
on
they
what?
gonna have? Well, one, are they gonna? Do you think they're gonna
Only if y'all
reveal
make
the
y'all-
identity of Black Noir?
Gonna be something we don't even expect. He gonna be Samoan.
All right, yeah. So let's guess the ethnicity.
I mean,
Samoan all day.
Yeah, everybody in the chat too.
that's
Guess the ethnicity
Black
of
Noir is a
Black Noir.
thoroughbred Negro.
Why? What makes you say that?
Because I need reasons. I said so. That's it.
I'm going.
He gives me strong black man vibes. Okay,
He got muscle.
Okay, what do you consider black man vibe? The man doesn't talk.
it's just something about, like, spoiler, but something about, it's about the shoulders. It's just the way he stands. Black man leave.
Broad.
All right, man.
No, it's
Hey,
not
listen.
the presence. Okay, that's a black man.
It's a black
It's
president.
the presence. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, man. Watch it. You know what? I'm gonna guess he is South Korean.
What's wrong with y'all?
Cause, bro, it's too.
Why South Korea? First of all?
It's too on the nose, bro. Cause I was gonna say Asian, but I just want to be more specific, and that was South Korean was the first one that popped in my head.
Okay.
All right. Amani, yeah. You say he's black. Lou, what you think?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with white.
I need that sound bite, y'all.
Hey, yo, we just baffled Lou. That's a first.
I'm thinking, like, why are
we just baffled Lou.
Black man, don't deny it.
It took us 10 episodes to baffle Lou. Oh man. All right, so I got a question for those who have watched.
Gabriella has a question, and I don't have the answers. I don't know.
Oh wait, yeah. Let's get Gabriella's question.
If Black Noir is supposed to be Rorschach, oh my gosh, I have a fit. No.
It's a superhero archetype thing, so I don't think there's a direct yes, because the idea of Watchmen was they took old Charlton Comics characters and was like, oh, like Superman and Dr. Manhattan are part of the same archetype. This is an archetype where, like, Homelander fits that archetype, and then Black Noir, Rorschach, Batman, that's the elevated human who is dark archetype. So, feeding the same beast.
Yeah. I want to know from everyone who's actually watched thus far in the season. For me, season 1 was successful because of the story and also because of shock value. Now the shock value is gone. How are they compensating thus far in the 4 episodes? Giving out spoilers. Are they doing a good job or no?
Wait, say that again.
Say that again?
Breaking up.
So like they can't. Oh well, there's no shock value. The shock value from the season 1 is gone. Like they can't lean into that too heavily. So how are they compensating, or are they still trying to lean into that?
They're killing people in just every second, and is painful to watch. They are just all the time. That I don't want to give y'all spoilers, but you're gonna get some as far as the violence goes.
For the most part, like shock value doesn't happen as much anymore. Like when the whale thing came, like it did in a preview, you're like, okay, yeah, this is expected now. Homelander still does some creepy stuff.
Yeah,
like drinking dead ex breast milk. Like he still shocks me. But other than that, it's like, oh, now they can actually kind of lean in the story. And this actually is a good seg to talk about. There are white people writing about white supremacy now, which I feel like is a positive in the world, because if they see it enough to put it in a major production, it's like, maybe they starting to get something.
I am a little nervous though, because I can, not that I can tell, but I mean, we'll have to talk about it next week because there's a lot of spoilers, but in episode 4, was it 3 or 4? There's something that happens that is the opposite of what Lovecraft Country is giving us. Lou spoke about it on the last show, and I didn't even realize that death ratios were important to me until he pointed that out. And there's a scene in The Boy.
Oh.
It really, like, I was not okay, and so that tells me that white gaze is strong there, because a Black person may have been more mindful of what that looked like. But then again, shock value, it was shocking for a Black person for me to watch, but I don't know, like, I can see a Black person saying, I want Black people to feel this. And I can see a white person not saying anything, not thinking about how we are going to see that.
I think that in that episode was by design for that.
I still think Imani's right. Like, the point that race was a key point to that scene.
Yeah.
And that is correct. But I don't think there was a Black person in the room going, okay, you can make that point, but like, you gotta think about how the Black people who are watching this are about to feel when they see this visually.
Because at that moment, the person doing the violence, they had not been racist yet on screen. Right?
I don't know. I thought it was going there, but
I thought it was going there, but then it shows on screen. It does.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Also say Mother's Milk is the man.
Yeah, I enjoy watching him. The scene with him and Starlight at a restaurant just talking. I enjoyed that scene.
Okay, another reason why I think Black Noir is Black. They didn't give the Black man a lot of heat in, the first season, and the fans were upset. And in the same way, Mother's Milk is getting a little bit more oomph. Okay, they don't give the Black man a little extra screen time. They gave him some lines. Black Noir didn't get any lines, but he got some quiet, some hand gestures. So we're getting there.
Y'all know what else is interesting without giving too much away? Just about every soup is lying either to themselves or the people except for one. That seems to be a theme, an underlying theme. It's like, and then someone verbally says it, I'm tired of all these lies. And I just think that's interesting to watch.
True.
There's only one soup that's really starting to accept themselves.
Well, I'm definitely going to start watching it hopefully tomorrow. I think I'll have some time tomorrow to start watching that. Probably before I might binge that before Lovecraft comes out, because it's like 9:00 Eastern.
I also gotta say to like Manhattan, they live in the boys. Them streets be mad boring, nothing interesting going on. And yeah, wild clean. I'm like, yo, where are they right now? And then they like show places that are more prominent. Be like, oh, I took a walk in Central Park. I was like, oh yeah, y'all are in Manhattan. I couldn't tell.
They went on the subway and there was no naked people. Like,
right?
Stuff was off.
They was just chilling.
Mild, New York City they got. But honestly, in a way, like if you're used to the city, it's so crazy that it doesn't bother you anyway. Like, unrelated, there's a video going around right now of a young lady in the subway wearing like a bonnet, slippers, and she has a duck on a leash. And the craziest part of this video is that this woman is outside in her slippers. Like, why does she have her slippers, her house shoes on the subway thing? But you're like, she has a duck on a leash in the subway and no one is saying anything. So in a way, I'm not that bothered by the New York thing, because if you're from there and you're, in the city all the time, that's just normal. And showing that might take away from the craziness that's going on in the show.
I guess.
Just a little bit. But yes, it's definitely too clean. Like there should be trash on the ground.
Y'all think it's by design they made it to look too clean? Just how like Vought tries to have a squeaky clean image?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, that reminds me who the other way they're gonna make this season interesting. Giancarlo Esposito.
That's what I was getting ready to ask. Has he made an appearance in the
first?
Yeah.
Okay. He here in a big way.
But
he talks to talk. Oh.
that wasn't subtle. There we go.
I'm excited to see where the season goes, because right now he's not as in control as I would like him to be. There's a new player in town that is controlling everything, and no one is really acknowledging that.
Also on the Boys and Cities, they either went to Raleigh 1946 or like they said they were going to Raleigh and then went to Bunn. Because the lady they go see in the 4th episode is supposed to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm like, okay, where is right?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know who doing this location stuff in.
New York, that's in Canada. They got is it in Canada where they have the whole like New York City set and everything? This is Canada, USA in this show. Everything is a little off.
Yeah, so maybe some location research a little bit more next time.
Yeah, they said we're gonna throw all the racism. We're gonna put all our attention on the racism, and we're just gonna sleep on everything else.
Raleigh starts with an R. Racism starts with an R. They're going to Raleigh. Yeah.
I want to talk about the violence so bad, but we can do it next week.
Who mispronounced Raleigh? I'm confused.
Oh no, when they go.
Shout out to Raleigh. Oh. How you pronounce Raleigh? You say Raleigh.
Raleigh?
Who mispronounced Raleigh? Please. Raleigh. I missed that completely.
Riley. Somebody said Riley from Boondocks. That's what it was.
All right, cool. Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate it.
Oh man.
Mark,
all right,
Rally?
Somebody say rally. I mean, okay, you can't get mad at somebody's southern drawl. You from Georgia, bro? Like, come on now.
Come on now. If you heard rally, that might have been me.
Oh yeah, you do say that. I have heard you say that.
I don't say rally.
I've heard you say that. Nah. It ain't like that. But yeah, you do put that a little bit of twang on it.
Rally.
Sometimes.
Twang.
A little twang. Anyway, anything else we want to talk about for the boys without getting into any spoilers? Because we do have something on Jason Mamoa and Ray Fisher situation. It's going to be a good little segue.
What's that such situation like?
I'm just saying, for next week, make sure y'all have 5 episodes that you need to watch. You have by next Saturday to watch them all, because we're talking about all 5 of them.
Oh, so next weekend we're getting into spoilers.
So get on it.
All right, I'm ready. So Jason Mamoa came out in support of Ray Fisher and his battle right now with the racism and just mistreatment of cast on the set of Justice League by Josh Whedon and Geoff Johns. Allegations. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes on that production. Allegedly, no one's been charged with anything yet, but there have been some pretty damaging accusations put forward by Ray Fisher, and a lot of the stars have also co-signed some of the things that were going on behind the scenes. Ben Affleck attributed the production to him falling back into his alcoholism. Ray Fisher experienced a lot of racism. He alleges that he was threatened, basically out of Hollywood if he didn't do certain things. So that's something when should keep an eye on the DC situation with Ray Fisher. So yeah, do we have the comments made by? Did he make a comment? Did he make a video? What happened?
Jason Mamoa made a post, I want to say on Instagram, and he said, "I stand with Ray Fisher," which, in my opinion, is a lot. It might not sound like much, but in previous instances, you've seen actors like do the opposite, not say anything or like support the film. Like I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was Guardians of the Galaxy. Someone involved, the director did something,
Oh
and
yeah, and then Batista was caping hard with James Gunn.
it's like, dog,
Yeah,
like why? What are you doing? You're not even the star of the film. Like, what are you doing, bro?
What happened with that?
I don't remember what did the
so
director.
I remember. So something hit. Some old tweets surfaced from who was the
James
director?
Gunn.
James Gunn. Some
Yes.
old tweets, I think from like 2000. I want to say 2011, maybe. Don't quote me on that. Never mind. They were old. They weren't recent, but they were still. I think he was saying some either sexist or racist things, borderline things, something that he should not have been tweeting on the internet.
It's
For certain. It
It
was some
provocateur Mike Kenobi.
yeah, it was something that should not have been said. And Disney and
Fired.
Marvel fired him. And I think they were in pre-production for Guardians 3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they canned him, and then he got the what's the
Guardian of the Galaxy 3.
no, he got the Guardians for what's Guardian DC's version of Guardians.
Oh, he got Suicide Squad.
Squad.
And then they hired him back for Guardians. Cancellation is fake. Take note.
Yeah. So they canceled him, and then they uncanceled him
It's PR
after.
move. PR
Yeah.
move. It's too hot right now.
Yeah, but like during that PR move, Batista was.
I want to say it was some Me Too like it's comments, and like they saw it online, and then because this was at the height of the Me Too stuff, and as soon as Disney and Marvel saw it, they were like, "Oh nope, he's out of here. Go on, get him out of here." Then, yeah, child rape joke. Yeah. It was yeah. That's what it was. So they
pedophilia and molestation.
Yeah, it was bad. It wasn't anything anyone should be tweeting about. But so they fired him temporarily, and then now he's back for the project. I don't think I guess I don't know why. I don't know what the reasons were for bringing him back into it, but
he high key came up from the whole ordeal, which is why I'm like, yeah, cancellation is real, as people say, because like he got to go do a movie with the competitor because he was fired, and then they brought him back, so he got to go like run over, do DC movie, come back to Marvel.
Now, and which is that's Geoff Johns, like
these tweets
and
are
all those people,
a little outrageous.
Right.
Which is also what brings some credibility to the Ray Fisher, a lot of credibility to what Ray Fisher was saying, because if you surface these tweets and like almost immediately, as soon as he's canned by Disney, I don't even think it was a full month before he was hired for Suicide Squad. It adds a lot of credibility to things and accusations being made on the set of Justice League. I also think Gal Gadot was also co-signing a lot of what Ray Fisher was saying. I want to say Ezra Miller as well. I think a lot of the main stars have, and I think Jason Momoa would be the last one that pretty much had stayed quiet, but now he's come out in affirmation and support with him. So there's going to be, I think, some tables turning over there on the DC side of things.
I can believe it reading these tweets. This dude is outrageous.
Right. And he got his job back. So, and he got a job with DC and then got his old job back. So basically the culture over at DC is, oh, you're a pedophile? Oh, you're a bigot? Oh, you misogynist? We love you. Come on over here. And we're just going to throw Black people and women into these situations and just expect things to be cool. And then stuff like this happens.
Yeah, and that also to the Snyder Cut. Allegedly, the Snyder Cut is supposed to have a heavier focus on. Well, I won't say heavier focus, but the Flash and Cyborg, who Ray Fisher plays, they're supposed to be more prominent in the Snyder Cut than they were in the Whedon Cut, because in the Whedon Cut they pretty much don't have much to do in the film.
Basically, cut out the LGBTQ plus guy and the black guy.
Yeah,
so we'll stick to the regular straight.
Here's the wild part about that, with like Jeff Johns being CCO of DC. Jeff Johns is also the writer who really forced Cyborg into Justice League. Cyborg is a Teen Titan. He's younger than everybody. He's like, when we reboot, I'm a writer thing, and I'm gonna stick Cyborg at the forefront so that we have a black guy in the Justice League. So
interesting.
Basically, he wanted him where he wanted him, and not where he should be. Like, give me a little blacky sprinkle.
Yeah, and I think some of the allegations too were that Whedon and Feige were actually, like, Whedon was feeding Feige information on the set of what they were doing with the Justice League, and I want to say that they were saying that he was spilling some trade secrets as well. Like,
scandalous.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, like just overall. Allegedly, Josh Whedon was very rude to the cast and crew. And he made a very toxic work environment for everyone involved in production.
Yeah, what's interesting is Ray Fisher, like, winning Jeff Johns' name in there as well. Like, when they called and they said, we contacted Ray Fisher, but he wouldn't make any formal allegations, Ray Fisher was like, no. One, it wasn't really third party. It was just like not Big Brother Warner Bros, but somebody else. And then two, they were trying to word my complaints in a way that absolved Jeff Johns, but nah, he getting this smoke too. So here we are. They want to come talk to me. Let me have my person in the room. Y'all can have y'all people in the room, but it's going to be fair. Also randomly connected, I'm thinking, like, speaking of Jason Momoa speaking out on a social issue, does anybody know what's going on with the whole Mauna Kea thing?
No.
The ancient grounds in Hawaii where
they're building that telescope?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't heard anything recent. I've heard of it.
I'm curious. I'm just curious. I don't know myself.
I don't know anything specific about that, but I know white people been white wilding, like trying to get Hawaii to reopen, even though it's COVID, and screaming, we want to go to the beach and things like that. Meanwhile, they're on land that isn't theirs in the first place. And you have, the indigenous people like staying home and doing the right thing. And you just have white people who want to get out there and celebrate. So I don't know anything about the telescope, but I'm not at all surprised to hear something like that.
They want to build a telescope on what is ancient indigenous Hawaiian sacred ground, similar to what they did with Mount Rushmore, where they were like, hey, we need this joint. Forget what it needs. So there was masses of protests for months, which Jason Mamoa participated in for some time. But then it sort of died with COVID, and then I sort of fell off with COVID. So when y'all brought his name up with social issues, I'm like, anybody else know what's going on?
No, I have not been following that. I'm completely unfamiliar with that. So I look into that some more.
Apparently, there's already 13 telescopes on Mauna Kea right now. But this telescope is going to be a 30-meter telescope. I'm just kind of pulling up.
I want to dive deeper into that, but that's a 3-hour conversation with me.
Yeah, that's the situation with that, man. Like, what are your thoughts on what on these accusations. I personally believe everything Ray Fisher is saying because
because why lie?
Absolutely
Don't lie about stuff like that.
I most definitely believe it. The only thing that worries me is it's happening around the time of the Snyder Cut, and it's definitely giving more hype to the Snyder Cut because now people want to see what it could have been. And I'm wondering, how long he wanted to say these things, and maybe they tried to stop him. And now that they can use it to their benefit, they're allowing it to happen. So I believe what he's saying. I am worried about the delivery and the time of the delivery, and I don't think that's on him. I think it's strategic on their part.
I think that that could be a possibility, certainly. And I also, because the timing is interesting. To your point,
right after the cut was announced.
But they're also too. We don't know how long the NDAs that they signed for Justice League were. They may have just expired, so now he might be free to be able to talk about that type of stuff.
I'm not saying.
Yeah, when you're on a production like that, when you sign a contract, you sign also an NDA, and you basically can't slander anything that happened while you were filming.
I'm not saying that's on him. Like, for example, let's just say they know the NDAs are coming out. They know he might have some things to say. Cool. Well, let's drop the date for the Snyder Cut now so that the vibe is going, and we know Ray is about to say something because he can. So the timing isn't against him. It's more so against them. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we already know that any press is good press, and they're definitely going to use that to the best of their advantage.
I think his whole accountability is greater than entertainment stance is important with Hollywood culture, where there's a culture of people who feel like they own you because they have the keys to your career.
Absolutely.
On a much smaller scale, because of Ray Fisher, the African dude on Dare White People on Netflix, he's not returning next season. And he was like, yeah, the people over at Lionsgate treated me in some really racist ways. They lowballed me on my offer, and when I came back and said, like, this is the rate, I was met with racism, so I'm not returning next season. Accountability greater than entertainment. And I was like, okay, I see you picking up the wave.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. There are a number of Black actors that have come out in support of Ray Fisher that aren't associated with the DC issues. I mean, they're just coming out in support. John Boyega's one. That was a huge name, and others. And I hope that they find more Black women and other people of color that will support and rally behind. Because if they can start a movement in Hollywood, like, this is the perfect time to do it. To expose all of this, like, we gotta get all this out of here, because it's been going on for way too long. It's got to stop.
And there kind of has been, but we haven't been getting enough shine. Octavia Spencer has been talking about it for years.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying, like, it's Ray Fisher, John Boyega's, like, they need to go and find them and bring these stories to the spotlight, bring it back out. Like, they've got the platform now, because clearly everyone's a lot of people are paying attention to the story. So there's a lot of voices there that have been ignored throughout the years. Like, I hope that they go reach out to these people, resurface these stories, start an entire movement in Hollywood, and like get all of this stuff exposed.
But who
it's past time.
Because like the people that own Hollywood, you're gonna replace them.
We got the internet. Like we need these stories to come out, because it's a bad, like, right now, Black Lives Matter movement, like, everything that's going on in society, in the world right now, this is the perfect time for these types of conversations to have. Like, expose it where it exists. Like, if nothing happens, then but it's like you gotta try.
But
you gotta try.
Leadership is a direction we could move in. Like, we could try something outside of Hollywood. We could leverage the internet. I mean, the cost of cameras and all that, it's not expensive like it used to be. So
distribution's still king, and so, like, that's why it's worth the fight in this fight.
Yeah, because it's like, one, we definitely know that women in Hollywood, and especially Black women in Hollywood, are severely underpaid. Like that's not even that's a known fact. So it's like you got a bunch of people, a bunch of black actresses and actors who have experienced the same things Ray Fisher has experienced recently in the past. Rally all these people together, like make a movement within Hollywood to get this stuff exposed, drop names, because there are a lot of those people are still working in executive positions. Apply pressure to these studios to get these people removed. Like you say, you are about diversity and you are, supporting feminism and like wanting to be more inclusive. Do that. Be about it. Show us that you mean what you say. Like when we name drop these people, when we tell you that these people are problematic and people co-sign, get them out of here. They can be replaced.
Has been paid appropriately for the last couple of years because of her white castmates. And if it were not for them, she would still be making the same amount of money. They found out how much she was making and they were pissed. And it's, since it's not our Hollywood, we need their help.
And I hate
exactly. It. I kind of wish we could move without it, but it's clear that as long as we are in their territory, we need their help. Otherwise, our only other option is to leave it.
But that's the thing. Like if they're living time, they're to only support this and to rally behind and make sure that these changes happen, utilize that, ride that for as long as it lasts. Like, because that means to me, it's time to get all of this stuff changed. Get these people out of here. Past time.
Also, ownership. Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, that's accountability over entertainment. That's the battle cry.
Don't sell your ideas. If you can hold on to it, please do.
Create rather than ask.
Yeah. It's just that's much easier said than done, especially if you're a broke artist.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
It's a long game. I think it's, with that in mind, it's going to be a lot of sacrifice in the beginning.
Bro, sacrifices are being made like right now. Like if you sacrificing your paychecks, like come on. Like no, like it's time.
Individual level, like I'm talking on a community level, a collective effort to move towards ownership. Like that's a collective sacrifice that we may not reap the benefits, but our kids could, or their kids could.
You can do all that at the same time. Like they don't have to be independent of each other. Like
yeah.
They're not independent.
But it's having that in mind, having that plan of action is important. The mindset of just trying to ask the person that's assaulting you to be nicer is that, I disagree with that.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. But there's also like they're creatives, and there are certain stories that are being told by certain studios that they want to be a part of, and like that's the main thing. Like if you as a creative and as an actor feel like you want to play this part and play this role because that role you find inspiring, and so you go out and you audition and you do everything that you're supposed to, like, yes, absolutely, we should definitely have ownership, but you should not be penalized for being who you are, like for your color of your skin, for your gender, for your sexual identity. Like none of that should be a hurdle. Like it doesn't matter where it is. Like I don't care if it's a black owned studio or if it's one of these major Disney, Marvel, Lionsgate, like whoever. I don't like it. That should not be a hurdle for anyone. It doesn't, like, you should be free to go and free to do work wherever you want to and be comfortable and not have to experience these types of things.
Yeah, and then just like both fronts are important. Like Tyler Perry, Spike Lee did a thing, but like there's a bunch of people who have tried to be Tyler Perry or Spike that didn't get the accolade. And then when I say like distribution is king, it's the audience you're able to reach. So or if you stick with DC or just stick with superheroes and you're like, I'm gonna make a black superhero movie for us. Cool. Now you're on like the independent film circuits trying to get a distributor, or you dropping it for free on the internet and it gets a million views, as opposed to Black Panther. If Marvel did in fact fumble the bag, you want to be a part of it to make sure they don't, because that's global influence. That's the 9th grossing movie of all time, and our collective capital as a community cannot breach the reach they have. So like both battles need to be fought.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And like, can you imagine, in light of Chadwick's passing, had he experienced anything that Ray Fisher experienced? Like, can you imagine? Yeah. Like, come on now. Like he was Black Panther. He is Black Panther. Right? Like, Ray Fisher should not have experienced the things that he experienced playing Cyborg. Like, he wanted to play Cyborg. He was excited to play Cyborg. Like, if to have your excitement and your dreams killed because of racism and people threatening to blackball you because you don't want to cooperate with this agenda, like that, I don't care where that's happening. It has to stop. And both these battles have to be fought at the same time. There's no compromises.
I could only imagine how just broken he felt, like, wanting something so badly and just losing it, or not necessarily losing it, but not wanting it anymore because of his treatment. Same thing with John Boyega, and even not in the film realm, but Tamara Mowry did an article about her time on Sister Sister, and how she, not an article, she did an interview, and she was talking about how when her sister young, they wanted to be on a teen magazine. Yep. One of the biggest teen magazines out there, and they were doing better than Friends at the time. They were #1 every night they came on, and they would not give Tia and Tamara the cover because they were Black, and they straight up told them that.
No. What they said? Black doesn't sell.
They said Black does not sell. Meanwhile, they are beating Friends on TV, and
which is a Living Single knockoff anyway.
Exactly, actual factual. Yep. And so
they got Living Single canceled just to put that
shout
show
out
on
to
the air.
Living Single.
Which is that on Netflix? Hulu? Yeah. Yeah. Hulu deserves a subscription just so you can go watch Living Single.
I think one day we need to have a conversation about how they had to fight to have dark-skinned Black women on those shows, between Girlfriends and Living Single, how the creators had to literally beg to have Maxine Shaw be a dark-skinned Black woman. But
man, Martin Lawrence had to beg for Will Smith for Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Because there was like action movie with 2 Black people, but like you could do the Dirty Harry thing. You get a Black guy, a white guy, and he was like, "Y'all really want me? Y'all gotta at least audition a Black dude."
Before they even had Martin, they were considering Dana Harvey and some other white dude to be the 2 front runners.
Thank God they
I gotta look this up.
But yeah, the fight is constant,
and it's almost like, I mean, just back to our conversation about Black Panther. Why are people being surprised that Black people can sell? Is just, it's a consistent slap in the face and just pointless. Like, just because you are racist and you don't want to see our Black asses, don't mean the rest of the world feels that way.
Oh, is this a good segue to your question?
You know what? Are we finished talking about this? Oh wait, Freeman, are you ranting first? What are we doing?
Oh yeah, this rant has to happen.
Okay, we go.
This is the segue, because I'm going straight into John Boyega.
Yes, Freeman got it.
So on this topic, speaking of the Ray Fisher incident, John Boyega a couple weeks ago put out an article in GQ about his experience on the set of Star Wars and the whole production and everything that went on behind the scenes, which is, to put it mildly, disheartening. It's the way he talks about his experiences is angering, is upsetting, is just as much as the Ray Fisher issue, because here you have a dude who is a super Star Wars fan. Like, not even, no question about it. Like, he's like, it's personal for me because he's like me, right? Like, he's a fan, like, of the franchise. And you come in as one, the character you're playing, you're a black stormtrooper who defects to the good guys, which that's enough that we haven't seen that Star Wars story. Like, in 40 years of Star Wars, we hadn't seen that story told. That's a compelling story on its own. Then you have the marketing campaign, which, let's be real, Star Wars is probably the largest IP in Hollywood. Like, over its 40-year history, it stayed relevant throughout. Like, and this is something that is a truly cinematic experience. Like, there's no source material for A New Hope. Like, that is a truly cinematic experience. Like, I don't know another franchise that can say that. Star Wars has its own convention every year that can rival in size to Comic-Con. Like, that's like, you can't speak to the value of this property and how beloved it is to the fans of the franchise. Everyone knows that the lightsaber is the weapon of a Jedi, right? Like, even if you haven't seen Star Wars, if you know anything about Star Wars, if you know what a lightsaber is, you know that a Jedi uses it. You don't even have to like Star Wars or have watched the movies. If you know what a lightsaber is, you know what a Jedi is, and you know that that's the weapon of the Jedi, right? So when you create an entire marketing campaign where for months the only people you see wielding and fighting with a lightsaber are Finn, who's John Boyega's character, and Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver. And then in the last month before the movie comes out, you incorporate some things with Daisy Ridley wielding the lightsaber and fighting with the lightsaber. He's on a billboard wielding the lightsaber in New York City on Times Square. Like, you create a huge marketing campaign and push and build him up like he is going to be one of the main stars of this franchise. You get everyone, all the black nerds and any level of fan of Star Wars that is a person of color. You see a dude who is black, darker skin, stormtrooper, comes to the good side and is fighting with a lightsaber and is actually like kicking butt with it. And then in the next film, you kick him to the side. Like, completely. In the next two films, he does absolutely nothing. And then because he signs an NDA with the franchise, he has to say exactly what they tell him to say and promote the film. He can't slander. So he can't express how he really feels about the whole situation, with Rian Johnson coming in and basically writing out his character almost. You put him on some stupid side mission that has absolutely nothing to do with the story. It doesn't further the story. It does nothing. It does nothing for the story. With an female Asian actress who, this is her first time in Star Wars, right? Like, I mean, this is her first major film, and it's Star Wars. Just like Daisy Ridley, a lot of the cast, this is like their first major film. You've landed a Star Wars. I mean, that's a huge like achievement. That's a huge thing to pin, right? I don't care what color the character is. I don't care the sex. If you know this property and you understand that what the lightsaber means and what it represents, and you put it in the hands of a character and you hype that character up as a hero, like one of the main characters, and you toss him to the side, that's a screwed up thing to do. Because one, you've got young people, children who are watching, who are looking forward to seeing this character because that character looks like them. They can relate to that character because they look like them. And I can imagine myself as an 8-year-old going to watch this film, and to watch that trajectory of that character is heartbreaking. Even as an adult, that's heartbreaking to see how they detoured this character for no apparent reason at all. And personally, I'm happy that he came out and said what he said and expressed what really went on behind the scenes and how he felt about it. The sequel trilogy as a whole has been an absolute nightmare. Like, to be frank, it's clear to me Disney didn't understand the value of the property. They didn't understand what the property meant for the fans and just how deep rooted and knowledgeable the fan base are and committed they are and have been for over 40 years to this franchise. That's I'll pause on that and leave comments because there's some more things. Unless you want me to keep going, because I'm getting ready to get into Kathleen Kennedy and the acquisition and everything that happened in 2012. Like, if you want me to continue, or if y'all got any comments on the John Boyega situation,
I would just say Disney knew exactly what they were doing. They were playing in the diversity. So
and it's clear. That's the also the slap in the face. Yeah. You use this as a thing to pitch diversity. You put him on the screen and you hype him up and you're like, oh yeah, you know, we're inclusive, we're diverse, we've got a female lead. Speaking of which, the female lead. Let me get into that too, because this is also pissing me off.
Rant.
From last week.
Talk your talk.
Rant.
Daisy Ridley has an interview and basically says that the backstory for her character, there was no backstory. They didn't know who she was going to be related to until sometime in principal production,
and it showed
on the last film.
It shows.
They
clearly
pitched her the idea of her either being related to Obi-Wan or to Palpatine, and they started shooting, and she asked again, and they said, oh, well, we don't know yet. No, the nobody thing came after. The nobody thing was put on during The Last Jedi, and then they scrapped it after the film. And then, but like, okay, this is your main character. This is the centerpiece of this trilogy. You don't know, you haven't developed this character. You don't know where she comes from. You don't know her backstory. You don't know anything about this character. And so you don't know where she's going. You don't know anything about this character. You've got ancillary material on characters like Captain Phasma, the Crimson Crusader, and a host of others. I mean, these are characters that were on the screen for like maybe less than 15 minutes.
Homeboy with the like stun baton from the first movie got a whole book.
Yeah, like you have books for these characters. She's your main character. She has no material outside of what we see on the films. There's no comic book series. There are no novels other than a novel that is a retelling of The Force Awakens from her perspective, which, if she's the main character, means that it's just The Force Awakens. Like, are we not following her along for this whole adventure? She's the main character. Like, what? I don't understand what are you doing?
Disney understood the value of Star Wars, but their main perspective was quantitative. They wanted to squeeze as much money from it as they could. So they threw in all these variables. A lead woman, Black Jedi.
I'll say, if Star Wars has shown us anything between sending all the colored people in the rebellion into Scarif to die, making Kelly Marie Tan's character like a janitor in the treatment of Finn, the rebellion, galaxy far, far away, aliens are everything. They ain't really banging with people of color. Yeah. That's why they all died on Scarif.
Got
brushed to the side.
And you could see it in the first Star Wars movie.
The Empire, but yeah, the Empire is racist. Like, that's not even that's canon. Like, they don't like aliens. They're basically human centric. The Empire is modeled after the Nazi Empire. Like, they're modeled. There's to be space Nazis.
I just told you about the rebellion though. All the colored people to Scarif. Oh snap! They blowing up Scarif. That sucks. By the time you get to episode 4, they're all white folk, and then you go to the post trilogy. I'm just saying, it runs deeper than the Empire.
Yeah, in Force Awakens, you could see it with Finn, the way they treated him. He was just running around screaming.
Don't pander.
Ready!
black people and women, to get the hype. I would rather have been left out of it. Leave all of these characters as white males and let them do what they've been doing all these years. Leave me out of it if you're not going to give me my justice.
And don't pretend like this is something that you stand behind. It's not a banner that you stand behind. It's clearly not a flag that you fly. It's not something that you value. It doesn't. You've not shown it.
Performative allyship.
You've not shown it. And then, Kathleen Kennedy didn't even know she was going to get the job. First of all, like that was something that was sprung on her last minute by George before he sold that he was going to name her president of Lucasfilm. Then he sold it to Disney. She took the job because of the relationship she has with him. Like she took it because basically she thought that he offered it to her because she was the only one that he trusted with the franchise. So there's that. In the cell, he provides a treatment for the sequel trilogy. Like he's got a treatment written that he gives to Disney, and they tell him, okay, we're going to adapt this and this will be the story going forward. They get to the writing room, they scrap the whole thing, the whole treatment, start writing it. They bring in Michael Arndt to write the new trilogy. He tells them that you're going to need at least 5 years to develop this story just to understand, what's all going on in the universe over the past 40 years, like in real time, like, because there's a lot of things that have been published in video games, in books, and comic books prior to Disney's acquisition. And his was we're going to need these years to digest all this, to understand this, to create a real compelling story moving forward if we're not going to use the George Lucas treatments. They fire him and tell Kathleen Kennedy that she has to put out a film in 2 years. So bring in Kasdan, who helped George Lucas write the original trilogy, and JJ, and they start writing the first movie together. Rian Johnson's not involved. Colin Trevorrow is not involved at this point. So they write The Force Awakens independent of the next two filmmakers. So they're not even involved in the pre-production, though they're all involved in a trilogy of films together. Logically, I don't understand how you thought that was going to work. We see where we are. And so, movies come out, they are what they are. Last year, Kathleen Kennedy makes a comment that Star Wars has no source material when they were writing the trilogy. And I'm like, what do you mean? We have 40 years worth of material. We have an extended universe that you, the president, decided to make into Legends, and said that we would pull from this material as needed in order to make a more cohesive story that was where every story being told across all platforms, whether it be books, comic books, novels, video games, movies, TV shows, all of it is connected, all of it's related, which logically makes sense. I'm okay with that. Pull in characters and certain story elements as you see fit to make this story work. So how do you in an article say you don't have any source material? Like, what do you mean you don't have any source material? You clearly know you were the one that made the decision to make all of this stuff Legends and not canon. And then
like that, man. Gail Simone said today, comic writer who did Birds of Prey and coined the term fridging and all of that. She said she was recently asked to write for like 3 different major Hollywood IPs with extensive backstories, and each time she asked for reference material, they were like, "Oh, use the wiki. The fans keep better track of that than us anyway."
Which is like, that's insane.
That's awful.
That's insane. Like you are you own this brand. You have to know the material. Like you have to know the material. Like you have Lucasfilm has a story group. They're curators of the stories. Like they're archivists. Like they keep track of every single story and are knowledgeable of everything that's been told over the 40 years. Like, and they're of all ages. Like they are who George used to lean on when he was making new material, like for the Clone Wars and all this. Like he needed people to keep track of all the stories and all the fan material and everything that was going on. And that's what they're there for. You have a resource of people that are very knowledgeable of this stuff, that have either been involved in these projects or just know it because they're super fans. So why are you not using them to help you write these stories? I don't get it. You have a Dave Filoni who basically has apprenticed under George Lucas for 12 years, over 12 years. He's literally the apprentice. You know what I'm saying? Like George handpicked him to be his predecessor. He taught him how Star Wars worked. He taught him the logic of Star Wars. That's what he's there for. This is who George trusted with the franchise. Clearly, like he would not have trusted him to do the Clone Wars animated TV show if he didn't have faith in him. Like he's the guy. Every interview that Dave Filoni's been in, he clearly understands Star Wars. So why are you not leaning into his expertise when you're making the sequel trilogy? Because he's at your disposal. Is it because he's the animation guy and you don't believe that? Oh, he does animation, so this live action stuff, it's not really his MO. Dude is a Star Wars knowledge Wikipedia. He's a walking wiki of Star Wars. Use him. I'm pretty sure he would have been more than happy to help. And it shows because you got a story like The Mandalorian where he and Jon Favreau basically wrote that story together, and it's not been nearly as divisive as the other properties in the franchise. In the Disney era, it is their most successful live action property at the moment. You don't use them, and then last month, because it's September, so August, during the week where you were supposed to have Star Wars Celebration, but it got canceled due to COVID, understandably. One, you don't make a digital presentation for whatever reason. Then DC does DC Fandom and blows everybody out the water. D23 gets canceled. They don't have a digital presentation. Marvel doesn't do anything digitally. Star Wars doesn't do anything digitally. So what is Disney doing over there? Like your top dollar leading properties right now have been radio silent for an entire year. And all your competition is coming in and basically eating all of your market share and getting all the shine and all the spotlight. And like they have all the buzz right now. Despite the negative press that DC is getting right now, DC is the hot thing over Marvel.
DC Fandom was the greatest thing DC has done in the last 5 years.
It blew me out of the water how well put together it was. And I don't understand how Disney, with all its infinite resources, couldn't do the same thing for Marvel and Star Wars. But before that's another point. She kind of backtracks what she said last year in another article and says that let me see. We have a rich history of 40 years worth of content. So I'm like, whoa, hold on. Now we have 40 years worth a history of rich content. Like, so is rich content not source material? Am I confused? Like, am I misconstruing something? Because if you say we have 40 years worth of rich material, I would also think that is source material. You've got a rich history of stories being told for over 40 years. You've just now acknowledged that. And now we have to take a break in order to fully digest the property. You bought this property in 2012. It's 2020. That was 8 years ago. It took you 8 years to figure out you needed time to sit down and digest and understand what it is that you just purchased.
They got to re-strategize. They realize they just can't throw money at it. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Like, whoa. Like, that's insane.
That's corporate, though. That's corporate for you. It's all numbers. All numbers.
That's bullshit. I'm sorry. Just to be frank. Excuse my language, but it is. That's crazy. That is insane. I don't care what corporation it is. I don't care what the situation is. There's absolutely no logic in how you're operating right now. It's just not. Make sense of that.
You want me to fight?
Keep going.
Do you want me to fight them?
No, I need some logic. And then Mandalorian. Speaking of the Mandalorian, where in the hell is this trailer? Because
Beyonce strategy. Beyonce.
like, where's the trailer at? Like,
Midnight
this
drop.
is dropping on October 30th. You have done zero promotion for this TV show.
It was going to show the trailer at the G-Ho concert, but then G-Ho got canceled.
G-Ho got so okay, that makes sense.
So the concert was gonna be
but so they were gonna show the trailer during G-Ho, which was on October 30th. So they weren't gonna drop the trailer until the show came out.
Yeah, big time.
Makes perfect sense.
That's what they do right now. They ain't no sense now anyway.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, Star Wars. Let me go to the comments real quick. Yes, it is the highest grossing film franchise of all time. And not only in film, like, I mean, there's so many merchandising, like Disney, I mean, Star Wars became Star, like George Lucas made his money off of the toys and merchandising because Disney, I mean, not Disney, Fox owned the films basically. The money he made because he owned the merchandising, that was very smooth. Because at the time, people didn't merchandise they didn't make action figures out of movie characters, and like that wasn't one of the things. Was, you know, all right, cool. And if they did, they didn't make a lot of money of it. So Fox agreed to give him, I think, 100% control of the merchandising and of the franchise. So he makes all the toys. He makes, like, you know, I think he has an exclusivity deal for the merchandising of the characters in the film, and so he makes a boatload of money throughout over the 40 off all the toys and things that he sold. So like that's yeah, I don't know. Apologize to the stream. I've been having some technical issues. Don't know what that is, but hey, it happens.
The rant is too hot for the bandwidth.
Too hot, man. It's the sniper, and they're zooming in. They hear us. They hear me talking about it, but like it had to be said because this is insane. Like this is insane. Like I'm very disappointed because like I said, if you tell the creator of the story, the original creator of the story, that you're going to use his treatment for his property that he's agreed to sell to you, and then literally throw it in the trash, bring other people in to write a story, don't tell him about it, then invite him to the writer's room after you've written the story, and don't tell him that you've thrown out his treatment. He shows up and he finds out that you haven't honored your word. He gets pissed off and leaves. Like this happened before The Force Awakens comes out. Like that's an actual factual. That's why he didn't show up to any of the premieres for the movies, because he was pissed because they lied to him straight to his face.
I have a question. Why was Disney so successful with Marvel, and with Star Wars they just completely dropped the ball?
Because Marvel has Kevin Feige, who understands the Marvel property. He's a fan. He reads the comic books. He's pretty familiar with the characters and how they operate and just the lore of Marvel. And then on top of that, you've got Kathleen Kennedy, who wasn't involved in Lucasfilm prior to this. She's a producer. Like she's not a hardcore fan. Like Dave Filoni would have been the better option, but he doesn't have any executive experience. You got some like Kevin Feige is a unique, because he's got executive experience. He's also got the directorial experience. Well, I think I'm pretty sure he's done some directorial stuff, but he's been in the industry. He understands the industry. He also understands the Marvel property, and he also understands the business of Hollywood. So you got a unique person like that. That's why Marvel's been able to have so much success, is because of that. They got that dude in charge. Now, hopefully, I'm happy that the Mandalorian has been so successful because Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are a great combination for Lucasfilm. Like for me, they are the future of the franchise because Jon Favreau has that Hollywood executive experience, and Dave Filoni is your lore master. He understands the story. He's the one that George Lucas passed his knowledge down to. Like he's the one. He's the heir apparent to the throne. So if you got those two, that's a great dynamic.
I don't know, man. Favreau be very 50-50.
But that's Dave Filoni there because Dave Filoni understands the story. Like, and that's what we need. We need someone who understands the story and how Star Wars works and what it needs to be Jedi. He understands the duality of Star Wars. He understands the lore and the mythology, and that this is modern day mythology. Like it's science fantasy. It's not sci-fi. It's a fantasy that takes place in a future society a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, that Kevin Feige example from Marvel, that's a perfect example for how critical a leadership role can be in a large organization.
It's also, when you talk about Kevin Feige and Marvel, the way these business deals happen, super duper weird. Companies seize different levels of control. Like George Lucas, when he sold Lucasfilms, was like, hey, everything, Kings to the Kingdom. So y'all, I got some suggestions, but I'm gonna back out from my sanity. Marvel like got to keep most of their creative control in their selling deal for their expansion. So like business deals be happening weird ways. There's other stuff Disney takes, like Pixar, where they're like, oh, we gonna virtually merge the studios. And then like Disney buys ESPN and they're like, you know what? We don't really got the sports thing, so y'all keep doing what y'all doing. So like it's not across the board system for these purchases.
Yeah. Like they see the potential profit of a property and they purchase it because they can. They have the buying power.
It's an acquisition model.
The issue that we ran into at Lucasfilm is that they didn't have the leadership installed for when George Lucas left. The chain of command basically wasn't there. That's the reality of it. It was non-existent. Yeah, they are, to Mark's point, yeah, they are very big. And yes, the marketing, my mom, but yeah, they were trying to make as much money as they could. And they did. I mean, that each of those films made over $1 billion. The only film that didn't is Solo. So financially, yeah, it's fine. But like that story was horrible.
Speaking of Solo, just a quick side note. Glenn Turman was supposed to be the original Han Solo that George Lucas suggested to the studio for the first Star Wars and A New Hope. And Glenn Turman is the, if anyone watched The Wire, he's the guy that played the mayor. He was also in Raisins in the Sun. I think he played the little boy in the stage play.
Interesting.
But he is a black actor. So Han Solo would have been black.
Imani,
you muted.
I had to Google real quick. He's also in my movie that we're gonna talk about later. Just wanted to make that known. OG, and I mean the Han Solo character is great as is, but to know that it could have been him I'm a little mad now. But yeah, he's a G.
DB Fly Guy, 100% agree with you. Filoni and Favreau should be running the show at Lucasfilm, and I think that transition is going to happen. I think there will be a graceful exit for Kathleen Kennedy, and I'm not trying to throw her under the bus like at all. Want to make that clear. I'm curious to see when she steps down. I know she'll definitely write a book on this as far as what happened from her perspective, because Bob Iger did it after he announced his retirement. His book came out, and so but I want to hear from her perspective what transpired, because she's the only one we haven't heard from.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's tailored or not. I want to hear her side of the story.
It's gonna be lies, man. It's gonna be lies.
I don't see the point of her line. I think she's going to be honest completely. She will be honest about everything that happened.
But didn't earlier you mentioned she lied about not having reference material, right?
I think that's just. I think she has no idea what. I think her knowledge is the movies and probably the TV shows.
She's gonna blame
the extended universe. She has no idea. If you had a
corporate execs, I don't trust them.
You think that she knew who the hell Grand Admiral Thrawn was?
She should have.
There's no.
Or she should have found somebody that did.
She doesn't know she knows the movies. Like, that's clear off of how she's talked about the franchise. Like, her knowledge is in the movies, and then she knows a little bit about the Clone Wars TV show. But outside of that, she doesn't know what this property is. Like, she's not been involved in Lucasfilm.
That's like a little cop out, though. She was in a leadership role.
Not at Lucasfilm. Not at Lucasfilm. Like, she was not involved at leadership level at Lucasfilm until 2012 when George Lucas made her president.
With the new trilogy, was she in a leadership role in the new trilogy?
Yeah, but she hasn't been in Lucasfilm up until then. Like, how is she going to know all 40 years of Lucasfilm's history if she hadn't been involved? Like, she's a producer because George Lucas made her president. Like,
hey, you in a leadership role, you responsible.
I'm not saying that she's irresponsible. I'm saying she was dealt a bad hand from the jump. But I don't think she maximized the potential of that hand that she was dealt. That's my argument.
Can I say that George Lucas sold Lucasfilm and then married a beautiful black queen, and I ain't mad at him.
That's true.
George.
Yeah, I kind of mad at it because then he thought it gave him license to make Red Tails.
Yo, hey, that was his contribution. He said, "Oh man."
See where that goes.
Also, too, he wanted to cast Tupac Shakur as Mace Windu before he was assassinated.
Yo, that's why.
Ironically, he probably would have killed Tupac in episode 3.
I still think that's a great idea, and I'm sad.
I mean, you can see the influence. You can clearly see the influence in Tupac's in Mace Windu. I
see it in the bald head.
I say, since Tupac did not get to do it, then Samuel L. Jackson's character was perfect.
Oh yeah, he found a great replacement. Yeah, he found a great one. Certainly, they're trying to control everything and can't make solid content with all of it. That's absolutely true. They got their hands in too many pots.
But if you control everything, it's the only content. So why does it matter?
The irony of it all is that they are the Empire in this entire scenario.
Qualitative.
Like, they're the Empire for real. Like,
yeah, they don't value creativity the way they value revenue.
Red Tails is a guilty pleasure. It's not good, but I imagine but I'm glad George made it because no one else has made it. Yeah. I mean, you can't. I don't know what a counter. Can you make a counter argument to that?
maybe Spike Lee, if he found funding for it, maybe.
Possibly. But I think George Lucas funded that project. He funded that. Yeah. So yeah. I think that's the only argument. It would have had to be a black director with a studio that could have funded it themselves.
I was gonna say something, and I'm glad I caught myself. I'm gonna tell y'all off air.
Oh man! All right. Well, that's been my Star Wars rant.
I love that
for
rant.
Today.
That was a great rant.
That's how I feel.
Rant more often.
Yes, you feel how you feel. How you feel.
I mean, that
was the longest part of our show. You had a lot to get off your chest.
Yeah, that was.
For the 30 minutes of heat.
It is a frustrating situation, though, to be a Star Wars fan. That, man, it's a frustrating situation.
I've just given up diehard fandom in my life altogether. Like, everything I did, like, it's a lot of energy. I was a Star Wars fan before I could remember. Then somewhere after prequels, I'm like, I mean, Star Wars is cool. Am I going to die hard? I was a diehard Batman fan till like early college. then started falling out of love with Batman. I was unfortunately born a Cowboys fan, and like, how could I love this team but then have Jerry Jones as an owner? And I'm like, you know what? Like, giving my soul to these things that have nothing to do with me and just take my money, I'm not with it anymore. So
I can dig that.
I'm disinvesting.
I'll tell
Elevated.
you, I still am a Giants fan, but I haven't been watching football since Cap, and I feel really good. Like, you know, my Sundays are Jesus in the morning, and then I get to do what I want to do with my day.
I grew up a Niner fan.
Wait, time out. That
Kaepernick situation threw me off completely.
Wait a minute. Imani, aren't you a Knicks fan?
The Knicks and the Giants are two separate sports.
But if you had to compare the success of the Giants beat the Patriots twice.
Giants.
I mean, listen.
Guys, listen, we don't speak about them.
You obviously don't understand the masochism in being a Knicks fan.
We're not talking about them. I'm tired. We're not talking. Okay?
But like,
I don't acknowledge their existence.
Because I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like the Knicks are the Cowboys of the NBA.
Ooh,
no,
I would say the Browns. The Knicks are the Browns.
Browns, like the Cowboys aren't that low. Like the Knicks is historically.
Okay, I can take. Okay, all right. I'll give you that.
Cowboys might be like Philly. They hyped up, but not producing anything.
Yeah.
The most exciting about Penn Station in New York City is that little Krispy Kreme. Okay, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about nothing else that's over there, but that Krispy Kreme and the train station. Okay, we don't care about that big old arena.
I'm about to say, but like Penn Station is like right.
Hey, but didn't y'all have a chance to draft Jason Tatum?
First of all,
they had a chance to draft a few
black films of all time.
Because I think Jason Tatum averaging about 30 points in the playoffs right now.
New York could have got LeBron before he left for LA. Was that?
Hey yo,
like she's doing Knicks wrong. Most of the Knicks fans I know been like, we suck all my life, you're gonna suck all my life, but we gonna complain about it.
Oh wait, did you have technical difficulties over there? What's going on?
I don't know what happened. Why you put me back in the front though?
Because this is your show. You in the front, you in the lead. Oh,
yes, is on you.
Is the rant over?
The rant is over. I've concluded my rant for now.
The rant is over.
We'll see if I get a trailer anytime soon. Won't hold my breath.
For the last month.
But I will say on the positive note, guys, Star Wars fans, if y'all are watching, I'm definitely looking forward to Star Wars Squadrons. I'm definitely gonna cop that. Like, here's the thing: everything else outside of the sequel trilogy has been great. The books have been good; they've been on par. The comic books I've enjoyed. I liked Rogue One. Solo, I feel like should have been a TV show. It would have been great as a TV show. It would have been a dope Disney Plus miniseries, in my opinion. The Adventures of Han Solo. I'm hit Han and Lando as a TV show. Like, what? Give me a series. Give me that series. Like right now. Give me that right now.
Yeah. That beats a movie any day.
The video games, the storytelling in the video. As a matter of fact, here's my suggestion. Everybody that you got writing video games for you at Lucasfilm, you need to bring them in to write the next movies because they have been doing a phenomenal job of writing.
Absolutely.
Because Fallen Order is probably one of the best Star Wars stories that has been told.
See,
it's in my top three.
It's one of the best stories.
Back up.
When
it's your show and you switching subjects, you can't open the door back up.
Yeah, see, you done messed up. I'm still a fan. I had to get my rant out, but I still got some things that I'm looking forward to and I'm positive on. And another thing, Timothy Zahn, I feel like should have a bigger role in writing because his Thrawn trilogy has been great, and his new book, Thrawn Ascendancy, which is part one of a new trilogy on Thrawn and the Chiss. If I'm gonna say this: if they don't bring the Chiss ascendancy into the mainstream of Star Wars, I'm going to be highly upset. And I think I said this last week, but that should be the next big bad in the Star Wars franchise.
Speaking of bad, there is no millennial or Gen Z person on the earth that sees the Bad Batch and reads the Bad Batch. It doesn't matter what font it is, it does not matter. You do not read the Bad Batch. And I don't know if they thought about that, because if I was in them rooms, I'd have been like, hey, yo, I see the A, but that's not what that says. It just doesn't say.
Yeah,
that.
see, this is where there's clearly there's probably an age diversity issue, and
hope that.
Yeah, because ain't no way somebody our age would have caught that and be like, yeah, can we call it something else? Maybe
I would have leaned into
I mean,
it.
I know they're the Bad Batch because they're Bad Batch of clones, but I think that's
bunch.
You could
the baddie bunch. The baddie bunch.
Batch. I'm just saying you gotta run with it.
They're technically called Clone Force. So
the runt crew.
The designation, the true designation is Clone Force 99 is what they are, but their moniker is the Bad Batch.
99 problems. Boom.
But a batch ain't one.
Oh,
that's the difference right there.
It is.
Involved, like you would have embraced it, and there would be something going on with that. They're not thinking that far. They just said the Bad Batch. Boom.
That will be a fire trailer. They ain't dropped the trailer yet. Got Jay-Z on the trailer. Got 99 problems, but a batch ain't one.
Yeah, see, bro. Can you imagine if Jordan Peele did one? Because like that remix to the 99 problems. Oh
see?
man,
They just gotta lean all the way in.
Bro, I never in my I've never would have, if you'd have asked me, hey, you can turn I Got Five on it into a horror theme.
Yo, that song will never be the same for me.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I always think about that movie now.
Speaking of, Candyman officially got pushed back.
Oh, did it? Oh, yeah, it did. I just saw that. I saw that. Yeah,
I'm happy for it. I really want to enjoy it. I feel like the film is going to be amazing, and I think it might have sequel potential. And I would like it if people got to enjoy it. And I'm not mad at it. Like I told y'all, if I could wait for Avatar for 10 years, I could wait a few years for some other stuff.
Well, wait.
Avatar. I got a bug now. I want to watch Avatar again. I've heard it.
Do it.
He said.
I haven't seen it since it came out in theaters.
Do it. I watched it last week. That was great.
Was it the same as good as it was the first time?
I am more appreciative of Pandora and the Na'vi and their language now, especially since we started Gumbo. I look at things differently now, and just
growth.
The attention to detail that they put into things. Like I'm hyped for that stuff. Like when it's them on and it's all the colonizers colonizing, I'm like, man, get out of here. Where the black people at? So that's what excites me.
This is hilarious.
What? Where the black people at?
Now I'm looking at the comments because I missed some of these.
New York, New York. The Knicks don't even like the Knicks.
Oh man, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. All right, so
just a reminder,
what you want to do?
That the director for Candyman got Candyman because of no. She got, what did she get? Lou, what film did she get to? Because of Candyman, she's doing Captain Marvel 2.
Yes.
So good, even though we've never seen it, that the director already got another job. And Candyman is her third film. But
it's her first big budget film.
So,
I hope Captain Marvel 2 is a success.
I think so, and I think we'll get more screen time out of.
I think we had time to write.
I was thoroughly disappointed with the first movie.
I thought the first one was Marvel origin story wise. I feel like other than Iron Man, origin story wise, origin stories are played out, but it was the second best origin story Marvel's owed.
Gabrielle Ferngully and Avatar comparison is absolutely hilarious, and I agree. Never.
Huh? Yeah. No.
The only difference
Belly.
is Fern
Yeah.
Gully were little and the Navi were giant.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Belly, yeah.
Plot. So Avatar was very. It's like novelty great. When I say novelty great, it's like you'll look at it and go, "Oh, this is where real D3D came from," and you'll look at it and go, "Like, oh, world building on point." Then everything else, you're like, I guess pretty straightforward story. Again, colonizing and space don't need to go together, but we keep doing it for some reason.
I honestly don't want to see a human in the second film at all. I don't want to see none of that. I want to see the deep sea. I want to see a Navi civil war. I want to see
Pocahontas.
alien problems. I don't want any humans involved trying to steal some special something. I don't want none of it.
So you,
That
you
might
want,
be a
you
good
want
question for a show. What
you want space tribalism?
What type of space story? What new space story do we want?
You know what? I'll be completely honest with you. I want Star Trek to come back strong.
Me too.
I need a good Star Trek story. I need a good Star Trek series.
The recent reboots were I enjoyed them.
Discovery I actually liked. I don't know why Discovery got such negative press, but I liked Discovery. It wasn't
because it has no business on CBS Plus. I'm not paying for that.
That I understand. That's an understandable argument.
Yo, CBS is trying very hard because they've had some stuff I'm interested in, but they haven't pulled me. Right. HBO Max came out the gate, and in 2 months, I was like, "Oh, I'm here."
Yeah, exactly. Yo, like HBO Max came in strong. Like this, I was shocked. I know it's HBO, but I was shocked by the platform that they put forward.
Because Twilight Zone and Discovery are both things I'm interested in, but not interested in enough for me to go jump on CBS All Access. I don't know what they're doing wrong, but they ain't doing it.
Hold on, real quick, guys. We're at the 2-hour mark, so if everybody's okay on the stream, we can keep going. But if y'all want to stick around and watch and continue here and listen to us banter, be our guest. We welcome
banter period.
Starting now. Don't leave. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Just stay right there. What you doing?
Exactly.
How would y'all feel about watching a rat race sci-fi movie, like a rat race that expanded the galaxy or the universe?
I'm thoroughly confused by your question.
What? So the movie Rat Race. Okay, so the movie Rat Race, you raced across the country to get to a prize.
Right, but you said expand the galaxy. That's where you threw me.
Yeah, so it's a race across the galaxy, and you go to these different planets as pit stops.
So that sounds like that sounds like the
focus on the spaceship,
an origin story. That sounds like an origin story for Starfleet.
So that reality show where it's like two people on a team, it's a whole bunch of different teams, and they're traveling from country to country.
Amazing Race.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like. That sounds like Amazing Race universe.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? That just reminded me. I saw a tweet. Somebody was like, this dude was like, yeah. My wife asked me, yo, what's that spy movie with the kids in it? He was like, Spy Kids. That's what... Oh my god, that's what that just sounded like.
Don't do it like
that. They need to remake Interstellar 2. That would be tough. I feel like that's a standalone. Like, how do you?
Yeah, how would you make a sequel to Interstellar?
I feel
Mark, pitch me a good Interstellar sequel. Like, what does that look like?
You know what? We're having a lot of space talk, and I think all of that deserves another show because we could do space talk all day. Not that I want to stop our space talk, but I think like how we had that horror film conversation, I think we need to have a serious just space film conversation.
Never mind. Is this I don't know. Is this this sounds like the conspiracy theory episode.
No. This conspiracy theory episode is all about the stuff we really believe. The space film episode is just nothing about conspiracy, just space and film and how it's handled and yada.
All right, but check out Altered Carbon season 2. That is.
Oh, why did that get canceled?
I don't know, but season 2 was monumentally better than season 1, and that is like when you ask what type of black space stories I would tell, like that story was extremely black in the second season. The book wasn't even that black. Like you had Anthony Mackie played Takeshi Kovacs, so black protagonist. Quellquest Falconer, the most brilliant woman on the entire show or in the entire universe, is a black woman. And then there was a black mercenary played by Simone Missick, and so like the season was very black. And even it was kind of even more impactful because, like, in a world where you get to choose your body, and Takeshi Kovacs chooses the black body because that's the body the woman he loves him in. Like his old body was there. I'm like, yes, black sci-fi. This is it.
Can you watch season 2 without watching season 1? Or
yes.
Yep.
You can. They're connected, yes, but like there's enough of a time zone where you don't need to see season 1.
I think I missed this comment earlier. Did we address this? I don't think we did.
I don't think so. DB Fly Guy says, not a fan of Captain Marvel. I've only seen it once. I hated how they did Nick Fury and how they handled Monica Rambeau.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
like
so
Nick Fury. The cat scratching his eye at the end.
The Monica Rambeau thing is like, I feel like people read wiki articles on Monica Rambeau and don't realize that, like, one, this film took place in the 90s, which makes Monica Rambeau an adult in the present, because Captain Marvel old as crap. And then, like, Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel was like a cheap name. Monica Rambeau did all her best things ever as Spectrum. They just didn't have a Captain Marvel, and it was like, we need a black lady on the Avengers. We're going to just call her this same name we called the blonde white guy that went away. And everything you love about Monica Rambeau doesn't happen with Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel. It happens with her as, like, Louisiana Coast former detective with light powers. Spectrum is my favorite Monica Rambeau identity. I think they didn't do her wrong because, again, now she's an adult and she's not 60 when we're in phase 4 of Marvel. I think it was a good setup.
I've said this several times. Captain Marvel was not my favorite film, but it was really important for the Marvel franchise, especially with the kickoff of phase 4. Like, if you have not seen Spider-Man Homecoming all the way through past the end credits to the final credits.
Yo, they wild for that.
They are super wild. And if you did not
wait, hold on, whoa, wait, which end credit scene?
Spider-Man.
I'm not giving out no spoilers.
I don't want to know. I mean, what movie was it on?
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
What's that not on Disney Plus yet?
Because
it is. Homecoming's on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay, I know it was on.
It must be. They must have just added that recently.
If it's not on Plus, it must be on some other platform. But I remember seeing it on some streaming service.
Stars.
Netflix. It's not Netflix.
With Beyonce? Homecoming?
Hey, G host.
Hey, we covered all of that.
Correct.
Oh man,
yo,
I'm not mad.
We're talking about Spider-Man.
I'm not mad at it. Oh
man, that was hilarious.
You want to know how Marvel Phase 4 starts? You need to make sure you watch Captain Marvel, and then you need to watch all of Spider-Man Homecoming, because I wasn't too hyped for Spider-Man Homecoming, just because I knew it would have been a minute before we got another film. But I'm still not happy I watched it, because now I'm stressed out. And if you have not seen the film, you don't know why I'm stressed. So
that post-credit scene was unnecessary, but other than that,
I mean, it has me hyped. It has me stressed out. So they did something. They thought about me when they made it.
I don't know if they thought too much about the future, though.
We still talking about the Homecoming in credit scene, right?
Yeah.
That's a dang. I can't mention that because that'll be
Into the Spider-Verse is on Netflix, but not Spider-Man Homecoming.
I watched Into the Spider-Verse so many times.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
That's my favorite Spider-Man movie. Into the Universe. Into the Spider-Verse.
I got the
That
art
is
book
an amazing
at my
movie.
desk.
Done movie. Oh, open it. Let's see some pages. No.
Storyboard, content development stuff.
Oh, breakdown. Is it all visual, or do they have any like written description sections?
It is a mixed media book, so like that's how art books normally go. So you'll get like, this is the concept art. This is how they came up with the concept art.
Oh, that's dope.
That's
That's
dope.
fire.
Did he end up a little lighter than that? By the time
Did Kingpin look the same, or was his original concept a little different?
It was very similar. The color scheme to make him sort of like monotone came later. That was one of those movies where like when it came out, I wanted to know everything about it. My girlfriend got me the art book, but like I have the script saved on my computer, got a bunch of saved interviews. The animation team was also really open.
Oh,
DB Fly Guy, J. Jonah Jameson comes on the TV, and it is J.K. Simmons again. And you're like, yay. And then he said something that you can't take back. And you're like, whoa.
So that's without spoilers, and that's Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say
Home or Homecoming.
you are still a
Spider-Man
little,
Homecoming or
Far From Home. Whoa, you right.
Yeah, Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Homecoming is the first one.
oh yeah.
Look at y'all confusing everybody.
That's, you know what, Monica, it's my fault. I said
Apologize.
it up there and I had you messed up. My bad. So all of that we just did, that was all my fault, Monica. My bad. I meant Far From Home the whole time.
Yeah, see, look at y'all. Y'all got the folks. Y'all got the y'all done confused the whole chat, man.
Too many homes in the names, okay?
Oh, that's...
All right.
Pardon me. Pardon my interruption.
Okay, so the community discussion today was supposed to be.
I don't know if I got time.
Yeah, me either. Me either. So
I just want to give my answer, and we can
let's do 15 minutes. Everybody like off of just a reaction. What's your
reactionary?
Yeah, all gut.
People, what? So
get ready to type it in the comments. Get ready to type it. Fast react.
I asked y'all what your favorite Black film was. We were, I think this was after the first episode of Lovecraft Country, and our conversation was real heavy. And I had another idea for the community discussion, and I was like, nah, we need some Black love, some Black hugs. We need to, talk about our Blackness a little in a happier light than we had been. So I had asked what your favorite Black film was, and then life happened, and Black people, we were a little stressed out, and we didn't get to talk about it. So,
and we are include TV shows. You can throw in a TV show. We did talk about
Black
including
film
TV
or
show.
Black TV show.
Oh, TV show. That like changed the question. I'm gonna just imagine I didn't hear you say that.
All right, go ahead.
Discuss that.
I think I put it into the description.
We TV show was on the fly right now. That's a bonus.
Yeah, you can do both. One or both.
Who's going first? I don't want to go first.
I'll say my favorite. I'm for the sake of this show, I'm gonna say
stop.
Boomerang.
Stop. No.
Boomerang is my favorite Black film. It was a all-star cast. The comedy was great. The story was good. All around good movie.
That
Boomerang.
Is a solid pick.
Matching clothes has never been the same since.
Shout out to Grace Jones and Eartha Kitt.
Word, for real though. Two legends.
Yeah. Boomerang's a solid pick.
I think my pick is solid, but I don't think y'all.
You can't leave. You gotta lead in with more confidence.
No. She this is her topic, so she'll go last. She go last. She ended it. My pick is going to be Fresh Prince. Just off TV.
Speaking of, they signed Bel-Air to a 2-season deal for you, so you're gonna get a lot of Bel-Air.
2 seasons, oh nice.
They got a 2 season. Oh,
yeah, they announced that like
that's blessing for that guy.
We shall see.
Also the power of the internet right there. That's the power of the internet.
They're doing a 30-year anniversary of Fresh Prince, and Will Smith and dark skin Aunt Viv took a picture.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that. The behind the scenes.
Hype for that. I don't know. Do we like dark skin Aunt Viv? Why we can't call her OG Aunt Viv or like Aunt Viv #1? Or like
I'm
the real Aunt Viv.
The original. Well, apparently she was being problematic on set.
So it's a wild story of the fallout, but like she left the show over irreconcilable differences, and when she talked about it all the way until like the 2010s, she was salty. She called Will Smith the a-hole. She said Carlton had no balls. Damn. Like she did not leave the show on good terms. She said the cast in general lacked professionalism, but that one is also like she was a classically trained actor, and then she was on the set with like Will Smith. And I'm like, I guess I can see how you didn't like it, but
yeah, I could see that. I could see how that played out.
But yeah,
because
Janet Hubert was like actress with somewhat of a name before this, and then she was Aunt Viv, and then she dipped.
She was like, y'all need to get on my level or I'm out.
And out she was. And then I love how the Fresh Prince handled that too, because that was the same episode. Nikki grew like 5 years in the off season, and they were like, Aunt Viv, and they were like, baby Nikki.
Like honestly, for me, like the Fresh, it's really a toss up between like Fresh Prince, Bernie Mac show, and Jamie Foxx show, because like those were like my go-tos. I didn't watch Martin that much. I enjoyed Martin when I saw it, but it was like on, I think, too late for me. But I could watch. I think I know they ran Fresh Prince during the daytime, and Bernie Mac show, and who was it? Jamie Foxx?
For my TV show, I'm gonna say In Living Color. Again, another comedy.
I mean, it was comedy reruns by the time I was born, or by the time I could remember. So little younger than In Living Color.
I just remember eating dinner in the living room, watching In Living Color. Right after Martin, I think it was. I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to King and Ivory Wayans.
By the time In Living Color went off, I was like 2. So
yeah, no. Shout out to the Wayans family. Like
Dana Wayans turned 6.
Yeah, they've been holding it down for a while.
Oh, speaking of the Wayans, if y'all haven't seen Marlon on Netflix, that show is hilarious. Marlon is a fool.
Well, see, but if you got to it on Netflix, you got to it too late, because it was a network television show on. Then it was on Hulu, and then like it got canceled, and then Netflix was like, "Oh, we want to stream it." So
that needs a third season.
I wish you hyped it a while ago.
Actually, Netflix greenlit it for a second season. Is that right?
No, if they could greenlight it,
because there's 2 seasons now.
But yeah, there's 2 seasons. They got 2 seasons.
Yeah, show is hilarious.
But yeah, favorite. I don't know if it's the favorite Black movie, but I just love talking about this movie because it's like one of my favorite in the last decade. Creed is an amazing film, top to bottom.
Shout out to Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler is my favorite director, bar none. Like not even favorite Black director. Creed was like when I was like favorite Black director, but then he was like favorite director post Black Panther. He's done 3 movies, and I've seen all 3 of the movies he's made at least 3 times. So
he hasn't missed. Like
So I also watched a lot of Coogler interviews. Like I think his biggest talent as a director is letting people help him with his vision. Like he doesn't get too ony. A lot of the women who worked on Black Panther were like, this is the best set I've been on working as a woman. There were in Creed, his cinematographer was like, yeah, Coogler gave me the room to do whatever I want. Like he said, I was thinking about this shot, but if you want to do your thing, film that too. And it comes together great. I can, one day I plan on like doing this breakdown. I don't know the form over like the first 10 minutes of Creed are so brilliant because they set up the rest of the movie amazingly. Like, within the first 10 minutes of the movie that Adonis Creed has always been a fighter. Adonis Creed has forever been chasing his father. And that's the only things he knows, fighting and chasing his father's legacy. And those two things play out all the way through the film with every single person he meets. That's why he doesn't need to win the fight in the end. Like when he says the question he gets from Max Kellerman, where it's like, what would you say to your father now? And he said, I would tell my father I would love him, that I love him, and I know he didn't leave me on purpose.
Hey, I'm getting chills right now thinking.
Right. And he's proud to be a Creed, proud to be the name that he was simultaneously chasing and running away from because he wanted to be Adonis Johnson. I was like, yo, this is just an amazing film, top to bottom. And I watch it over and over again.
Yeah, Creed is a dope movie. Is Coogler, is he directing Space Jam? Mark?
I was gonna say I didn't hear about that, but that's interesting.
If he's directing Space Jam, it's
yeah, I didn't hear about that either. But
I hadn't heard about that either.
LeBron and Coogler?
Just want to say, hey, if you're just now joining us, we're actually wrapping the show up, and we're talking about what is your favorite Black film of all time. It could be a film or a TV show.
Oh, okay. He's
drop it in the comments.
He's writing.
My mom
wrote Creed and
Marlon is going to be in Jersey. As long as that event don't look like COVID is going to be over, I'm going.
All right. Do we want to go through the comments first, or are we gonna get your pick out? Because I was gonna pull up the comments before we got out of here too.
He a producer on Space Jam.
My Uncle John says his favorite show is The Wire, and his favorite movie is School Days. See,
The Wire is my favorite TV genre of all time, but since you were like happy stuff, I didn't feel like The Wire qualified.
I would say happy stuff only. I felt like our favorites would be happier, but at the time I wasn't talking shows anyway. I think
True.
Easier to love a show that's on a harsher topic than it is to love a film. Like
pain is addictive.
Character development, and they have some ups and downs. Like if you compare it to like a slave timepiece, like that's you're tired. It's not the same. You're not really interested. So those
I'm glad no one mentioned slave
drama I could understand. Yeah.
Power best intro song of all time. It's got Fresh Prince beat.
I was about to say, I don't know. Even white folks start singing the Fresh Prince theme song when you play at a party.
Yeah, that's
when people ask me what I'm doing, I still say I'm chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool.
Absolutely.
Remember when they changed the Power intro and everybody got mad?
For like one episode.
I wasn't watching
after season 2, you didn't miss much.
People were not happy when they switched that up.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in Power as a show. After season 2, they just started like, I don't know, the show became a caricature of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tend to like back away. So like, you know, all the stuff at A&T that was like campus wide watches, so including Power and then like Scandal and The Game. Whenever that happened, I was like, I don't know, I'm out. It's too hot. It's too hot in these streets.
Can I say I was really trying to get us to watch The Walking Dead as a university, and nobody cared about me?
Yo.
Walking Dead dropped while I was in school, and I just thought it was the greatest thing ever. It dropped freshman year. I watched it on my 13-inch TV in Bearsford Hall, and I was, or at least it felt like I was. So,
that's funny. Whole campus said no to The Walking Dead, huh?
Campus
That's a fact, though. Yeah. No, people weren't watching The Walking Dead. That's true. When did I start watching? I started watching The Walking Dead in either maybe my sophomore year.
I was there for the premiere. We were hyped. I remember.
I didn't start watching until season 3, mid-season 3.
Listen, remember when you saw the trailer for the first time and you were like, zombies, TV show? Like, my heart stopped.
Yeah, we were so hyped for it. We were like, yes, what we've been waiting on.
I was ready. I think it dropped on a Wednesday night. Did that come on Wednesday or Sundays? I don't even remember.
Sunday.
All I know is I was prepared. Okay, I had snacks ready. I told my roommate, shout out to Sherry, she was not allowed in the room. I needed this moment. Like, I love zombie horror, and I'd never seen a show, and I was stupid hyped, and it was just me. Like, I never had a Walking Dead watch partner until I came back home. Like, I would talk about it with my mom. It was just me and my mom. That's it. I will say now to Mark's point, The Walking Dead has made me angry, and I have not watched it since they.
Only one more season.
I'm like 4 seasons behind now. They pissed me off so bad, but when it started, I was hyped.
Yeah, I've lost all interest for The Walking Dead.
They were supposed to do a World War Z sequel. That's me. That's my mom and
Why?
I. What do you mean why? That was
Like
Yeah,
the
I ain't
one
like that
was
movie.
the one was good. It was start, middle, end. It was like why another? Are we gonna have another worldwide event breakout?
I was hyped for it.
We need a space zombie movie. Zombies in space.
Which one of them is piloting a spacecraft?
Nobody. They just floating. They floating in space on a desolate ship, and the crew is stuck, and they got to get out. And the ship is flooded with zombies.
Basically, Pandorum.
Yeah.
That y'all told me was awful. That's exactly
Or
what
it's a planet of zombies, right? And they have a little cognition.
All right. Yo, how many? So have we gotten to everyone's comment? That's commented.
I haven't said mine yet.
Say yours.
Like,
That's why I'm here.
Yo,
Holy crap.
love that.
Before I get into mine, I have to apologize to my grandmother Shirley, who's probably still watching. She was not happy about the WTF in the thumbnail, and she was like, "Nani, why are y'all cussing?" And I have said at least 3 curse words the whole show, and I know she's downstairs looking at me. So, Grandma, I'm about to see you in a minute. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's it. But my top choices, TV show is My Wife and Kids, and then a second show
that's a good one.
probably be Chappelle Show. My Wife and Kids, I can still watch it. Junior's big head and everything we went through on that show. First of all, him being a teen father, but Junior, his stupid self becoming a teen dad and have it
See,
I gotta say,
now I'm upset because I did not think of Chappelle Show as a show. Because that certainly should have been my pick.
But I gotta say, Michael Kyle and George Lopez were both bad parents. Like, their kids did not turn out okay.
Hearing Damon call Junior stupid is one of the funniest things.
But he had 2 stupid kids because their daughter wasn't that bright either.
Oh,
she got light skin and lost her brains when she went light skin. Because remember, season 1, Claire was dark skinned and standoffish.
Yes.
That's right.
I liked her.
Yeah,
I liked
her.
I don't know. They should have 4 kids, but I did like stupid Claire too. But the OG Claire was very important.
Life is a great comedy too. Yeah, DB Fly Guy.
And then
yeah.
For my film,
that's up there too.
Life is up there.
If I have my film would be Life. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like the saddest, funniest story.
These
dudes is really in prison for that.
Excuse me, Imani has been trying to get out her
for
film.
real. Can she finish?
Holy for putting me on to The Inkwell. The Inkwell came out in the 90s, and it is about a Black family going to the Inkwell in Martha's Vineyard in the 1970s. Google says it's a rom-com. I don't think so. I think it is a dramedy. That's more of a coming-of-age story starring Lorenz Tate and Jada Pinkett Smith, and it's an amazing film that they never show on TV. I can't remember the last time I saw it on TV. If you want to see this film, you have to buy it. But it's a beautiful film. Just to see the Inkwell on screen is amazing. Just a beach with affluent Black people just out there doing their thing and having fun and just enjoying themselves without anybody else. You know, it takes place, this family goes to Martha's Vineyard for a week. And the week is during the 4th of July. So you get to see, you know, how they're celebrating, how they're chilling within themselves. It's just, yeah. My Uncle John knows what's up. The Inkwell is a beautiful film. I hope he was talking about The Inkwell. He might be talking about Life. I hope so. But yeah, if you have not seen it, He is talking about the Inkwell. If you have not seen it, it is a film that you're going to be upset that you didn't know that it existed. Anytime we have a conversation about Black films, I bring up this film, and only one or two people know what I'm talking about, and it makes me sad each time. So I think
my next my next question is it streaming anywhere? Is it available?
No.
Can we watch it?
Have to buy this film to watch it. There's literally this. That's it. You got to buy it online. Nobody shows it. I don't know why. I don't know the logistics of that. I don't know like who's refusing to sign a contract with somebody, but they playing games. Oh, I forgot about Roll Bounce. Still not better than the Inkwell, but Roll Bounce was great.
All right, we're gonna roll through these comments real quick, and we're gonna wrap this thing up, boy. We 2 hours and 30 minutes into the show. Well, first and foremost, everyone stay in and watch. Like this has been a really fun show, and we've kept a good amount of viewers in here. So thank you, everybody who stayed around for the show.
Alan, even though I spilled some of it on myself.
Yeah, we're gonna let that slide. We seen it. we seen it. Anyway, all right. Mark says Queen and Slim.
Moving on.
Next.
Oh man, now
I'm surprised that was up there.
I'm not. Mark told us he loved it.
I
think I heard him say take over, money.
Yes, where was it? I missed it. Scrolling up, trying to find how high it was. Okay, Bernie Mac show. Gabriella says the Proud Family. That is definitely a Black show. DB Fly Guy mentioned this film, the 24th. It's about riots in Houston in 1917. I
haven't seen that, but that don't sound pleasant either.
I just Googled it. It looks dope. It looks beautifully made, but you have to pay for it in order to watch it. It's not streaming anywhere.
Riots in Houston.
The Wire and School Days. Mark says Cadillac Records, Dreamgirls, and Talk to Me are also some top Black faves.
Well, Mark likes some music movies.
Definitely, he likes to jam. Gabriella says Sorry to Bother You is just a wild AF movie.
Yo, my favorite part of that movie is when it's like, how about we go to a bar after and buy you a beer? Nah, the drinks are on me. Nah, they're on me. How many you gonna buy? 1, 2, 3, 4? All of them. All of them. I'm about to buy all the drinks.
My dad and I, that's how we gas each other. Like, that's like, not you the man, not you the man. Like, it's, yeah.
You are one good looking brother.
Oh yeah, the confrontation scene. That's
what you
hilarious.
got on?
Yeah, I love that jump.
Stack alone.
That's
how deodorant.
That's a great scene.
From now on, just gas each other.
Confrontationally, like it was aggressive, like confrontational. Like it's like, wait, they're complimenting each other. Like, hold on,
close to each other, like,
bro. Yes. Yeah, it was like, it was a wild scene, but it kept you stayed right there with it.
Mrs. Cooper says Dating Myself, The Jeffersons, and Good Times. But did she mean to say Dating Myself?
And the Huxtable show. We refer to it as the Huxtables.
No, she thinks she's old because she's seen the Jeffersons, Good Times. Everybody's seen that. Everybody's seen these shows.
Is there anything else? Mark mentioned the Life movie that was in space. I did see it. It was great. But we could talk about that on the space show. That's my favorite space movie of all time.
Oh, you know what? Somebody did. Who brought up World War Z? I did. So I heard y'all debating on it while I was having technical issues with my camera. But
we still are.
I heard that while I was in the midst of a reset. But it was supposed to be a franchise, World War Z.
What?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a franchise of movies. Like it was supposed to be like a full-on series of films. I don't know. I can't remember how many films exactly it was supposed to be, but it was not supposed to be a one-off. I've heard that rumor for years. Like since before it came out. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. So yes, I can validate for whoever made that comment.
We need to have a zombie convo. We need to have a space convo, and neither of them gonna happen tonight.
That's a fact.
There we go.
Next show is my birthday. If
Hey.
you're not there, I'm gonna take personal offense to it. That means you don't care about me. And
Wait. Next Saturday is your birthday?
Saturday is my birthday.
There you go.
Here.
About that my dad's birthday is that Sunday, so I won't be here. So I care. But
what you're saying is you are confirming that you don't care about me.
Oh,
I'm saying the man who was one half of my birthday, we're celebrating the same day.
You can love your father and love him as much as you want to. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just saying you've made it clear where your allegiance lies. You have made it clear that you can't care about both of us. So that's that. Shout out to your dad, the September 20th Virgo. I see him.
oh my Lord.
Oh, so yeah, next week is my birthday. Be here. We're talking about all 5 episodes of Boys. Lou, you got to pre-record something then if you watched it because I want to hear from you.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna have another jam-packed episode next week. It's gonna be high octane, high power, very Virgo, and
Community
thank you all.
discussion. I want to know, since this is the era of the villain getting so much shine like Homelander does on The Boys, I want to know who your favorite TV or film villain is ever and why.
All right, hot
A whole
take.
baby.
BVS should have been a Luthor movie, and they could have used a lot of the same footage, cut it differently, set it on Luthor. That film would have been fire.
Could have been a different
Wait.
too.
I have a request. Can we modify this a little bit and just say favorite villain of all time? Because there's some villains that are on TV, or because there's somebody I would like to. Well, I guess so, because he technically has been on TV show, but
like in books,
comic books, anything. If even if it hadn't had a live action or animation depiction.
You know what? I say I want. Give me one of each. Give me a film. Give me a TV. If you've got a book one, give me that. You got a comic book one, give me that. Yeah, let's do that. I want to hear it all.
Villains.
Whoa! Hold on! Time out. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
BVS as in Batman vs Superman. BVS, is that what we talking about?
DB Fly Guy.
My take was
credibility might have just
lowered
a bit. DB Fly Guy.
Is he on the Discord?
I don't know.
Yeah, all right, sir. Are you on Discord? If you're not in Discord, hold on. Yeah, let me drop a link to Discord real quick because we gonna have to have a conversation.
DB Fly Guy. If you don't have Discord, I need you to go to the App Store and download that right now.
Yeah, hold DB. Stay on 1 second. I'm going to drop a link to our Discord channel. As a matter, wait, actually, no. Where we can continue this conversation off air with our Discord community. Oh yeah, that sounds like a no because he laughed or she. Oh, you said Fly Guy. Yeah, they. Listen. Join our Discord.
2020.
Join our Discord. Announce yourself as soon as we get in there so we could talk to you because the conversations need to be had.
Wait, yeah. Oh, please. Yes, sir. Hold on. Yeah, sir. Wait a second. Yeah. Justice League is fire? Oh, no, it's garbage? Yeah. How do you separate those two? Please elaborate in the Discord, sir. Please join us in Discord and elaborate because I know we got a community full of people who would love to debate you.
All right, Joe.
And on that note,
all right.
Anybody got any last questions? Because I'm getting ready to sign out. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We are every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We don't normally go this long, but when it's necessary, we do it. Thank you for watching and thank you for staying for this almost 3-hour long stream. Thank you everyone in Discord and everyone who continues to support us. We appreciate you so much. We got more content on the way. And without further ado, everybody, we are signing
Good night.
off.
Aliens come back. Let's hope that they black.
Peace and blessings.